You're listening to Open All Mics on BBC Radio Scotland. The players just shaking hands there at Ibrox Park. Stephen Craigan is there for us, and we see Callum McGregor, the Celtic captain. He just makes them tick, doesn't he, Stephen?
He does. And I'm talking about players who thrive in the big occasion. And we spoke earlier about the Rangers players being inconsistent. The one thing you know about Callum McGregor, every time one of his teammates has the ball, he'll be looking to take it off them. He's the fulcrum of what they do. He dictates the tempo. He knows when to speed the game up, when to slow the game down, and he thrives on leading this club. Coming here to a packed Ibrox, the atmosphere is incredible from the home fans, but he will love nothing better than to go and pierce that atmosphere by getting goals, dictating the play, and somehow Rangers have to try and get the grip from him. If he keeps dictating the game, Celtic will be on the front foot the whole game. So it's going to be vitally important. Whoever's in his area, I think it'll probably be Barami, because it looks as if Yanis Hadji's going to start out in this left-hand side. He has to do a job with the ball, Barami, but he also then has to think defensively when they lose the ball. Can they get the Callum McGregor?
Big games right across the country this afternoon, including at Pittodrie. Aberdeen in a dreadful run of form after a fantastic start at home to Ross County. John Robertson and County in the back of two very good performances.
Yeah, I wouldn't say their performance in Dingwall was all that great, to be honest. Hearts dominated the whole game, but since then, they picked up a point with a remarkable recovery, and that's the spirit that Don Cowie talked about. He said himself that they didn't create any chances, but they kept going, and they got the result. I'm interested to see Aberdeen. First time I've seen them at home for a long time, Kenny, and they were really sharp in the warm-up. A lot of the passing and movement, they looked really good. So this is a massive game for both teams. Can County get further away from St Johnstone at the bottom? Can Aberdeen get themselves perhaps back into second place by the close of play today? So it's a little bit of snow fluttering down as we're about to kick off, but really looking forward to this game.
Yeah, absolutely looking forward to that one, and also the game at Tynecastle. An early chance for you, Alan Preston.
It was a brilliant ball, and we've said this so many times. Penrice to the byline again, picks out Liam Boyce, and it's not a difficult header. He headers it over the top of the crossbar. Maybe a bit of rustiness, not played a lot, Liam Boyce, but a real opportunity for Hearts after 50 seconds, but still 0-0.
So a lot of positive comments, obviously a result aside, Alan, in terms of that game in Dingwall, talking about Boyce and Wilson. They look pretty good together. Yeah,
it was someone at the tail end of their career and someone at the very start. It'd be great for Wilson to listen to Boyce and learn from him. He's a very clever player. He's been dogged with injuries, Boyce. It's a real shame. But for Wilson, this is great. 5 goals he's got so far, joint top goal scorer at the club. And the main man at 17 years of age is incredible. And just to touch on as well, Kenny, Lennon Miller's got a hairline fracture in his ankle and he'll be out for a number of weeks.
Thanks to Alan Preston. He's watching the game there at Tynecastle. Leanne Hearts at home to Motherwell. We've got all the games coming into the studio here. Motherwell having a very good season. It was a great interview we had with Stuart Ketchwell a couple of weeks ago. He's actually becoming quite an interesting character, Stuart, isn't he? Quite outspoken a lot of things.
He is. Look, he doesn't. He wears his heart on his sleeve. I think he's really honest. He's a good communicator. He talks an awful lot, which for us is a good thing. Like when you have him on the show, you don't want just a manager that's literally a Q&A where he just answers the question. He elaborates, I think, in all his pre and post game interviews. He's really good at that as well, and he'll tell you. He's really honest. Been a lot of moments, I think, with referees of late, and he's tried to verbalise that. He's looked to try and communicate his frustrations. I like Stuart. I've got a lot of time for him, but they're having a really good season, really consistent. I always felt he had the ability to go and do that, and at points we know he's going through a few tricky spells. He's had I think a good grounding as a manager as well. I think his time at Ross County taught him an awful lot. Then coming out of that job in the way that he did probably gave him an opportunity to reflect, and that's where he was in working with us, and we got to know him as well as we did, and his views in the game and whatever else. So look, they're in a really good place, Motherwell. A big miss though, Lennon Miller. He's been fantastic for them, so to lose him for the time frame that it will be, and I wouldn't imagine they'll look to rush him back either with the player that he is and the prospect and the value that will be on his head at the club. So we wish him a speedy recovery as well.
Stuart Kettlewell's good for a headline these days, isn't he?
Well, it's funny that stuff happens in Motherwell games.
Yes.
It's just, even the last game, the goal that they probably should have got. And I thought Tony Watt spoke excellently during the week there about that. He was kind of almost downplayed. He said, look, I'm only talking about this because you've asked me about it. He wasn't making a big deal of it. I thought he was really, really good. And Lennon Miller should have been red carded. Stuff happens in Motherwell games.
What did you think in that, Tom? The Miller one, when you seen it.
I thought the ankle buckled and I thought red.
Aye, I was really surprised watching it. I thought 100% it was going to be referred to the monitor for the referee's
really good
chance.
start from Hearts there. It's a Blair Spittle shot deflected wide for another corner. Hearts are on top in the first 4.5 minutes. 0-0 at Tynecastle between Hearts and Motherwell.
But it's classic managers, it's all about the goal. Probably should have been that Jack Butland overprotected there, right?
Of course.
But Stuart Kettlewell, never mind Lennon Miller's possible red card. It was all about as managers, that's their want. Okay?
They love to set the narrative, no doubt it's all about that. Let's get to Rugby Park. Kilmarnock at home to St Mirren. What's happening there, Rory, in the early stages?
Yeah, not a lot. There's exactly 3 minutes on the clock. Both sides have had an offside each. That's about as much as there is to report. It's not really settled into any sort of pattern. Both teams playing the 3-5-2, quite a similar shape, but absolutely nothing to report in terms of goalmouth action so far. 0-0 between Kilmarnock and St Mirren.
Right, let's get to Steve McGinn. He is in Perth watching St Johnstone against Hibs. What's happening there, Steve? I know there's a big travelling support made the journey through.
Yeah, excellent travelling support from Hibs. St Johnstone have actually started on the front foot. One of the things before the game you're thinking St Johnstone could target is the pace of Sidibe and Kimpioka, especially down Jack Iredale's side. And St Johnstone got in and won the first corner of the game. So Valakari will be very pleased with the start his side's made.
Yeah, I'm going to come back to Valakari in a minute, but an early chance at Ibrox. Stephen Craig.
Yeah, it is indeed, and it's Celtic, Kenny. We got the first glimpse of Dyson Maida down the left-hand side against Yilmaz. He put in the cross, ball ended up going out for a corner kick, short corner, come back to Callum McGregor. He puts it back in again. Somebody wins a header at the back post, and Kyogo probably should have done a little bit better at the near post, but it's Rangers on the back foot in the early stages and Celtic doing all the pressing.
Yeah, it was a big chance. Craigs, I was watching it on the screen. First corner didn't come off, and then it was a wicked delivery from Callum McGregor. I think Kyogo, maybe another couple of minutes into the game, he might have just capitalised. It's perhaps just come a bit too early, not quite switched on, which is unlike him.
The atmosphere is going to be really interesting there this afternoon, isn't it?
Leon King, Kenny's not really developed into the type of player Rangers fans had hoped. I'm surprised he's not been given an opportunity today, and they not put Sterling to right back. So, as a young Scottish player, it would have been nice to see him.
But he's not played, Roy, that's the issue.
No, he's not played.
To come in and play your first game of the season,
but
I know for him Derby would be a huge risk.
It would be a huge risk, but it's a risk that the team is playing at the moment. So, Clement has played Cortez and a number of players that have not played for a length of time. King's not been injured, he's been training.
No, he's given a foul.
Right, Alan.
Have a look at this. Mr. Drama's put the ball in the back of the net. They're saying it's a foul on the keeper. It will be checked.
Right.
I've seen it, Alan. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure.
It's a ball. It's been whipped in. It's headed up in the air, and it's dropping right under the crossbar.
Right, going to be look now, Leanne.
It's still not a great look. To be fair, the goalkeeper comes out initially and gets himself into it.
Oh, right, Rory.
Yeah, Bruce Anderson closes down Gogic. He gets the block in. He cuts inside him. I don't know if Anderson initiates the contact.
No.
It looked a penalty to me, but Tom Leanne, you'll get a better look at it than I could see. But the penalty's been given as it stands.
Yeah, okay, I'll get a wee look at that, Rory. Just getting a look at the one at Tynecastle. No idea what the goalkeeper's doing, Alan, but for me, there's not an awful lot in it.
Yeah.
He comes out, he's posted missing at the first effort. He comes out into literally no man's land, gets nowhere near the first contact, and almost rushes back into the bodies that are now inside his goalmouth. For me, it doesn't look like a foul. Tom, you're getting a look at it as well.
I can't see a foul at all.
They're still discussing it.
I cannot see a foul. This has to be given.
And what about Rugby Park? Does that look a bit soft?
It looks a bit
for me.
soft for me as well.
Bit soft. Perhaps.
He's going to referee. He's going to check this. Check it.
I think the goal
has to be
stand,
given.
Alan. My gut instinct looking at it. Goalkeeper's made an absolute meal of it.
I don't know what the keeper's. What is he protesting about? He's James Wilson took the ball and kicked up to the halfway line, saying that's a goal.
Which there's going to be a real irony in this when you talk about Motherwell. Things always happening. A goal chopped off against Rangers for
similar
a foul to the goalkeeper. This is not similar.
There's a possible handball check here at Ibrox. Rangers done really well. Diamandi nicked the ball off Callum McGregor as he dwelled on it.
Okay.
Suddenly got into the box. It was 2 or 3 shots. Barami had one, came back to him, had another one. Play's now resumed, but it was a really good play from Rangers. I spoke about Callum McGregor dictating the play for Celtic.
Yeah, go give him. The guys called it correctly in the studio.
Listen, the goal stands, and it's very, very similar to the Rangers Motherwell one the other day, and obviously
it's going to be taken by Anderson. It has been given. Sorry to interrupt.
No, you go, Rory.
He's just about to step up now. Colin Stevens just making sure everyone's outside the box. I thought he'd blown his whistle, but he obviously hadn't. It's been a long time between the foul being given and the penalty being taken. You just wonder if that'll affect Bruce Anderson. He was dead late in the last minute recently. Let's see if he can hold his nerve. He steps up. Saved! Oh, and he puts in the rebound! Balkan makes a wonderful save, low to his left-hand side, and Anderson follows up, taps into the empty net. 1-0 Kilmarnock.
Yeah, just watching a replay now. Here we go, Leanne.
That's a good save.
Yeah, just gets his foot to it, but no chance with the follow-up. So Bruce Anderson puts Kilmarnock 1-0 up at home there to St Mirren. Hearts 1-0 up at home to Motherwell. Bruce, so Neil Critchley desperately needed the points there against Stuart Kettlewell's side. They're struggling this season. Of course, they lost these 2 late goals in Dingwall.
Rangers! Yanis Hadji! Once again, Rangers nicked the ball in midfield. I think it was Liam Scales tried to play the ball into Bernardo. Raskin nicked the ball, drove it to the right-hand side, had a little back flick. Maybe like a Cruyff turn back into the path of Yanis Hadji. Left foot, bottom corner. Schmeichel couldn't get there. 1-0 to Rangers.
I'm going to wait for a replay, Craigs. It sounds just like the game plan that Rangers will be looking to execute, forcing those mistakes in the middle of the pitch. And
it's 2 or 3 times Land have nicked the ball. Square balls from Celtic. Callum McGregor dwelled on it once.
Scales did away with
Scales. Yeah.
Diamandi was around McGregor, and Raskin was at the heart of that move. And Yanis Hadji, his first goal since he came back into the Rangers team, and he's put Rangers 1-0 up. I'm
just going to get a better look at it here from behind the goal, actually, Craig. As you say, good play from Raskin. I see the wee reverse heel flick just to Yanis Hadji. Now, there's decent enough contact on it, but I think Schmeichel's got to work his feet a lot quicker as well.
I have to say from here,
and I think Scales, in terms of the recovery and getting back into position after giving the ball away, you've got a bit more. But credit to Rangers, credit to Hadji, and obviously they're celebrating the goal. You can see in terms of Rangers, even with regards to a bit of momentum and belief in that themselves just now, they really do need some sort of result at Ibrox today.
What about that Rangers set-up today, Stephen? You made a lot of changes, 6 changes to the starting lineup. How's it looking?
Well, I think the 7 changes against Motherwell told us, Kenny, they don't have the strength and depth. This is the best available players they have so far, so you have to play them as often as possible. But they're really aggressive in midfield. That's something they're setting up really well, is trying to go and press. They're allowing Celtic to start the play, and then once that ball comes in the midfield, whether it's square or whether it's straight, they're trying to pounce on as much as they can. So it's setting up well for them. Celtic, though, have been a little bit sloppy in possession.
Right, let's get to John Robertson at Batodry. Looks like whiteout conditions up there, Robbo.
You said a flurry of snow when we started, but it's slightly more than a flurry now, Robbo.
It was a wee flurry, and the sun came out, everyone looked great, and as soon as they kicked off, or just before they kicked off, I was laughing, because David Dickinson immediately said he wanted the yellow ball on.
Yeah.
Which is fine. But then he got knocked out of play after 10 seconds, had to throw a white one on. So Jack Davis, the Aberdeen kitman, he's ran round the stadium, dropping off yellow balls left, right and centre here. It's a throwback. It's a yellow ball that's out, and we now have yellow balls around the stadium. But right now, you're already, and we're only 10 minutes in, struggling to see the lines on the pitch.
I was watching it, Robbo, and I thought how long it was going to take you before you came in. And
well, there's that much going on, Leanne. I thought I would just leave it. It was a little afterthought there.
And I just wonder now, though, even as you say, with the lines and stuff, which is perhaps fine if the referee's on the pitch, but I'm thinking about VAR decisions, if there's any Dubai, but say inside the penalty or outside the penalty, or how well the cameras. That's going to be
the interesting thing, even for drawing lines, because is it going to be blurred? I don't think we've really had this scenario before. But in terms of the actual lines, we're sitting back in the main stand here, so reasonably high. Yeah. We can still see it quite well, and I'm pretty sure at some stage they'll sweep them. But it is now as heavy as it's been all day, and if this continues, there's going to be a few questions asked, I think.
What about the questions being asked right now about the Aberdeen team, Tom? 8 without a win. What do you make of it?
I think they look a tired team. They look a team that are desperate to get. Well, they're now in the transfer window. I think it needs refreshing. I think it was a heavy burden on a lot of 7 or 8 of the players who started every game when they were flying. Same players now look like they've run out of gas a little bit. They need a rest. They're everything that was good about them has now flipped. Defensively they were rock solid. Now they're defensively vulnerable. Midfield they had power, they had aggression. They look a bit of a soft touch. They were getting a huge impact off their bench. They're not getting much impact at all off their bench now. They were winning games late. Now they're conceding points late. Everything is done a flip. And I still think, they're a decent team. If you said to them, right, second day of January, you're going to be in third. If you said that to them in August, they'd say, oh, wow, that's going to be a great season. But it's been weird the way it's happened. They need to get going again. They need some new blood in the squad.
It's amazing how quickly things can change in football. Hibs, the perfect example of that right now.
Tough
Steve
start,
McGinn.
sorry, Kenny. Tough start for the referee, Callum Scott, here at Tynecastle with a goal.
Chance for St John's.
Yes, Stephen.
Should do better. Sidibe, it's a really clever dummy from Nicky Clark, and Sidibe gets across Rocky Bashiri. I think he's got to do better. He's got to hit the target, but really bright play there from the captain, Nicky Clark.
Yeah, that looked a very good opportunity. What's happening, Alan?
No, the referees, it's been a very indifferent start from him, I've got to be said. One of the Motherwell players goes down, it's not a head knock, and he blows up and for treatment for him. He doesn't need treatment. The player that's Casey gets right up. Stuart Kettlewell, which you can imagine, loses a rag because Motherwell are on the attack. So it's been a poor start from the referee.
Stuart Kettlewell loses the rack.
That doesn't sound like Stuart Kettlewell.
Is he not
Are you
suspended?
sure? Are you sure about
the
that?
nicest guy ever as away for the football. He's a
Yeah, he's in the
brilliant boy.
dugout today, actually.
He is, yeah.
Well,
He's
he's
sent off in the last game. That's why I'm surprised
Yeah,
he's in
he's
the
there.
dugout. There's a different rules to players.
his post-match today is going to be interesting, given the nature of the opening goal. That's going to be
But
fun.
look, he's probably added to the fact that goal stood because they were so furious and it was spoken about so much that
Big
there
chance
was
for
no
Ross
foul in
County
the
there.
goalkeeper.
Well, yeah,
So
he will
there's
agree
no
with
foul
that.
in the goalkeeper.
He will agree that that goal was perfectly legitimate.
Of course, stay tuned for that. Rob, a big chance.
Yeah, the ball was played in there. Jordan White just couldn't quite get it under control, but it fell to Josh Nesbitt, who's in a bit of a goal-scoring run. And his shot from 18 yards was pushed away to the right-hand side by Ross Doon.
It's so difficult to watch that
Yeah.
game in here, isn't
It's-
it? I mean, it's pretty
Such
heavy
a
up there.
contrast from
I'm worried
the
about
other
the wee man
pictures
if
on
it
the
snows
screen.
really heavy, anything over 5'1" in his toilet. Come on, Robbo.
I'm saying nothing because I've got the perfect one there. Josh Nisbet is playing for Ross County. He's about 5'2". I'd be quite happy picking him up at corners. I'm delighted every time he plays.
Right, let's get back to. Oh, jeez, I've just seen that. Big
Crossbar.
chance.
Really good play once again by Rangers. For the last 2 or 3 minutes of sat deep, they haven't been able to get up the pitch, but once they win the ball in midfield, there's runners everywhere. As Vladislav Cherny gets the ball on the right hand side, cuts inside, has a shot with his left foot, as he traditionally does, takes a deflection and crashes off the crossbar.
Deflected off Scales.
Turns his back on it, Scales, just at the last second. Again, a wicked deflection, almost wrong foot Schmeichel.
That's 3 or 4 times now Celtic have been open and they've given the ball away, and Rangers have turned it over and they've caused them problems going forward, so they'll have to get the grips with that.
3 goals in the top flight. Hearts 1, Motherwell 0. Mr. Drama on 7 minutes. Kilmarnock 1, St Mirren 0. Bruce Anderson, his penalty was saved. He followed up and fired the ball home. And Yanis Hadji has put Rangers 1-0 up at home to Celtic. Let's continue then around the grounds. Let's get to Rugby Park. The home side, good value for their lead, Rory?
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. I'd placed Anderson behind Wales and Vassell, my team lineups, because that's where he played the last time I was here, and with 3 strikers and all that. But Wales is actually playing on the left. Anderson's much more suited to playing on the shoulder and putting defenders under pressure. That's how the goal came about. I have to say, Bobby Wales.
Seems to be a delay here. I don't know. Are the VAR checking something, Leanne? I don't. David
Look,
Dickinson
I'll get a
stopped
wee
play.
look.
He's not really. He's listening to something, but
Yeah.
I didn't see anything.
I just wonder if is the ball out for a corner just now?
No, it's a by kick.
Yeah, I just wonder if there's maybe chat around the weather.
It seems to be going again. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, the snow's stopped a little bit. I mean, a little bit. But you're struggling now to see. There's no doubt you're struggling to see the lines, but there seems to be an enforced delay here for some reason.
Yeah, I see him speaking. Is it the captain?
He's
pulled
speaking
in Shinnie.
He's speaking to Shinnie,
They
but
not need the lines cleared, surely.
Quite possibly.
Possibly, Alan, but I mean,
the penalty box or not?
It's
that's
very
the problem
heavy.
now.
Yeah.
It's not. I know it sounds daft. It's not heavy. There was a real flurry there for about 5-6 minutes, but now the lines are definitely covered. I can't see the halfway line.
Yeah.
They'll need to clear that.
They're going to have to
They'll
clear
need
that.
to need to check it.
And again, I can see because we're slightly towards the Merklin Road end. I can just about see the 18-yard line there. They'll have to clear the lines. There's absolutely no doubt about it.
Snow seems, just looking at the television, snow seems like it's coming down quite heavy.
Well, it's not really. I know it looks that way because we've got the screen here as well, Tom, because it might look a bit worse because it's exposed out there a wee bit in the wind and stuff, but I mean, it's fairly heavy. They're just clearing the lines now.
If that's not bad, I don't know where you've been this morning, but that's.
Listen,
Listen, Leanne, when you're asked by the BBC, to pop over from Inverness,
Well, this is my
there's
concern that
lots of
Inverness
snow
must have
about.
been
I've heard Willie Miller make that same remark before.
Robert, I did hear you the other day denying that there was a monsoon in Dingwall, but eventually you conceded that there was.
Oh yes,
that's the word you're looking for. Microclimate.
To begin
Much
with,
more
Tom,
hardy
it
up there
wasn't,
than-
but it ended up a shocker. And as you say that now, it's getting even heavier here.
They're much harder up there than we are in the Central Belt.
Listen,
It's the Michael Fish of sports now.
it's a laugh. It's a laugh when you get the call to pop over on the road that makes the A9 look like the M25.
It snowed for about 5 minutes yesterday in Glasgow, and I thought I might have been snowed in for today. I was panicking.
Well, to be fair, Huntly, Inverurie, it was quite. Well, it wasn't snowing today, but you could see there's been heavy snowfall the last 24 hours. But fair play, the roads were very, very good. But this is going to take some time, because right now there's only 3 guys here that got shovels.
The thing is, Robert, they're clearing the lines, but the snow is still coming down. So I just wonder if this game is going to be at risk.
That's got to be at risk.
15 minutes, Leanne.
Yeah.
So I would suggest this will have to happen every 15 minutes.
Yeah, is it blowers someone they've got there in the touch line?
They've got a guy doing a blower down the touch line, but they've got it's a good old fashioned. And what I can't believe here is they've went from one 18-yard line to the other 80-yard box with the 3 guys with shovels and just completely left the halfway line.
Oh, chance.
Right,
First
yes,
real
Stephen.
opportunity for Celtic. It's a long ball from Liam Scales. It travels about 60 or 70 yards. And it's really good movement from Keogh between the 2 centre halves. He stretches to try and get his foot on it. Luckily for Rangers, he doesn't get a touch. That's the first time Celtic have really flexed their muscles.
Chance for you, Alan.
Yeah, it's a chance for Liam Boyce. It's good play by Gordon, the Motherwell skipper. Musa Drama to the byline, he cuts it back to the front post. Boyce is just about to smash it in, and Gordon comes from nowhere, gets a good block. Hearts have played really well so far in this opening 20 minutes. They're leading Motherwell by 1-0.
Aberdeen 0, Ross County 0, Hearts 1, Motherwell 0, Kilmarnock 1, St Mirren 0, Rangers 1, Celtic 0, St Johnstone 0, Hibs 0. Reminder, our second commentary of the day comes at 5:30 from Dens Park, Dundee, at home to Dundee United.
All I was going to say, Kenny, is I'm just delighted to see that leaf blower is working much better with the snow than it did at Hampden that night when the Scotland game was delayed.
Kenny, really brilliant run from Yilmaz at right back. Again, ball's getting played straight into midfield. The Rangers players are so tight. They're gambling, probably taking risks. And it's Yilmaz who nicks it once again, drives on the right, cuts across the 18-yard box, has a shot, but it's a comfortable save by Schmeichel in the end. A really good tempo to the game.
How's he looking at right back, Yilmaz?
Well, that was the one area I thought Celtic would exploit with Dyson Maida because of his pace and his running power. Maida's not been in the game. Nicholas Kuhn's not been in the game. Hitati's not been in the game. Kyogo's only had probably 2 or 3 touches, so that tells you what pattern the game's going. Rangers aren't dictating the play, but they're just pressing and have been really aggressive when they get the chance to. So Yilmaz has done okay, but we're still only, 20 minutes into the game, and Maida's got a lot of power in him.
Stephen, given the way these games go, I feel Rangers have to get a second here. There's still that defensive frailty. I know they're on top at the moment, but Celtic will score in this game.
Listen, Tommy, know that Celtic will be, their moment will come, and that's when they have to find
Chance
the composure, which they've got lots of.
Cadden off the line from Jack Sanders.
Yes, Stephen.
Yeah, it was really good play from Junior Hoylett. He's sold Jack Sanders and he's cut it back to Chris Cadden. He's beat Josh Ray all ends, but Jack Sanders made a brilliant recovery to keep it from making it 1-0 to Hibs.
Brilliant recovery right enough, Stephen. He comes from nowhere. It looks as if it's going to nestle in the bottom corner. Throws himself to get back onto the goal line. Great stop.
I have to say, I can't remember a game where Callum McGregor's been dispossessed as often. Nicholas Raskin and Dave Monday are really pressing at every opportunity. McGregor isn't getting a chance to lift his head.
This is reminding me of the Spurs game at Ibrox. The way they're hunting in packs, the way they're closing down the Celtic midfield, forcing mistakes out of the Celtic midfield. They did this against Spurs as well.
Was that a wee penalty shout you were saying there, Rory, at Rugby Park?
Yeah, Olasanya wanted a penalty. Didn't look much in it. It's not going to be checked. Bruce Anderson went up the other end. It's opened up ever so slightly. So I'm not at the races really. It's the poorest I've seen them in a while. Yes, they got beat against Dundee and I was there, but they didn't play particularly badly. Probably should have got something out of the game. But Kilmarnock have been on top, thoroughly deserved their 1-0 lead. But he's actually had a couple of half shouts for a penalty, Olasanya, but none of them have been given. Obviously Kilmarnock got a penalty of their own, which was given and taken and scored eventually on the rebound by Anderson, and it is still 1-0 to Kilmarnock.
So you go back to that game at McDermott Park, Simo Valakari. What are your thoughts on him? The concern would be he is a manager. that is new to Scottish football as a manager, albeit he had a good playing career at Motherwell. I mean, I put this guy into it was to Michael Stewart a couple of weeks ago, but I was making the suggestion that if you're a St Johnstone fan right now and you're bottom of the table, would you not rather someone like Craig Levein with that experience, would you not have more trust that he could get you out of that position? I mean, Valakari is a young manager. This is a pretty desperate looking situation for them right now, I think.
Yeah, you know, they're conceding, 20 goals in their last 10 games. There's no future in that. Now, 6 of the defeats have been by a goal, 1 win in 10. They just look a naive team to me. Valakari looks like a naive manager. He doesn't look like he's adapted to the landscape that he's in. And, you know, St Johnstone fans will say, look, they got bored rigid of watching Craig Levein's team. There has to be an element of pragmatism. Maybe Craig Levein was too pragmatic. I think Valakari is too much of the other extreme. There needs to be a middle ground here, or else I think St Johnstone will go down to this league.
You were saying that a couple of weeks ago, Alan, weren't you? Real fears for your former club in the way he was setting up. Oh, right, wait a minute. Red card check.
A red card check for Kiskin. I think he's going to be okay. He's yellow carded him. Didn't look anything too bad, but they're playing on now.
Right, Rob, but just to go back to St Johnstone, you were chatting, your concerns the way he's been setting his side up.
Yeah, 4 strikers at home, which is great. If you win the game, as I keep saying, they were 2-1 up with 4 minutes to go, and you think take a couple off, bolster your midfield, put another defender on to see the game through. No, he kept the 4 of them on for the full 110 minutes which we played that day, and they lost the game 3-2. The first time I've really seen him was at the last game out against Celtic, where he rested a few players. He rested his top scorer, Dre Wright, who's arguably been their best player. He rested a few for today's game, so that's the first real time, and I think he's given it a bit of thought, because it's been a worry, a real worry. They've got Dundee next out in the derby, then they've got Rangers at Ibrox, so it's not going to be easy for St Johnstone. If Hearts can win today, get away from them. Ross County, we don't know what's happening up there at the moment. We've got a point at the moment as we sit. St Johnstone could find themselves cut adrift.
There's a ball corner whipped in. Ross Doohan came, missed it completely.
Got to do better there.
Well, there's a strike. Oh, what a goal!
Right.
Oh, County have taken the lead, and wait till you see this one. Ackle Wright has smashed one from 25 yards into the top right-hand corner. Aberdeen 0, Ross County 1.
That's a cracker. It really is.
Amazing.
What an unbelievable hit. Just sits up lovely from Robbo, doesn't it? You just see him taking the touch. I'm watching it building across the pitch just as you brought it to our attention, and you can just see it just sits up ever so slightly, and he thinks to himself, I'm going to...
Because Ross Doohan came and completely missed it. And if Etty at the back post headed it in, it got knocked out, as you saw. It's come back, and it's just as you say, it's perfect. It's landed, he can get his foot underneath it and get the big dip. But by goodness me, what a strike.
Sensational.
And
absolutely
it's
sensational.
really quieting the Aberdeen crowd now. They were getting a bit anxious, and they're certainly, as Tom mentioned earlier, they're just off at it. They're just off at the pace at the moment.
Yeah, it's top drawer.
Yeah, I think that's the word that Willie was using. He was talking about a real lack of energy right now about this Aberdeen side. That was his concern.
I think it's more confidence, Kenny. We've talked about the past. You saw teams so far this season. Hearts last week, essentially, when they were fine until they lost the first goal, then they got really nervous. Their confidence, they lost the second goal. Hibs earlier on the season got nervous late on goals. County just keep plodding away and plodding away and plodding away, and they get in your face. They're a big physical team. Aberdeen just look, as you've said, that it's the first time I've seen them at Pittodrie, and they started off reasonably well. They're still knocking the ball about, but they don't seem to have that energy and that verve they had earlier on in the season. They're just, to me, things that they were trying.
Chance for Hibs.
It happened, but it's not at the moment.
Better.
Yeah, another chance for the wayside there, Stephen.
Yes, it was brilliant play from Josh Campbell. He's pulled it back to Junior Hoylett. I think he's got to make better connection than he made. Just to go on that point, I think St Johnstone attacking play was really good in the first 20 minutes, but every single time Hibs go up the park, St Johnstone look at conceding, and I say that more than Hibs look at scoring, because it's really basic attacking play, and it just cuts St Johnstone totally wide open, and within that, the attacking play's lost a bit of belief because they're just chasing back, because Hibs look like they're going to score every time they have it.
And what about Nicky Cadden? Tom describing him earlier as a catalyst for this turnaround in form. Would you go along with that, Stephen?
Yeah, he's been brilliant, really good. I mean, Dave Gray, when he was building this team, probably built it as Nicky Cadden as being a left winger, but this formation, this system, it's just really absolutely brought out the best in him, and he's grabbed it by the scruff of the neck.
Yeah, going very nicely indeed. 4 wins on the bounce for Hibs. What's happening at Ibrox, Stephen Craigan?
Well, Kenny, Celtic haven't got to the levels that they've been at for large parts of the season. There's no fluency of the play. Rangers have put pressure on them. There's unforced errors. They're giving the ball away. Liam Scales just dribbled the ball out of play there. So Brendan Rodgers more than once has had his head in his hands because he can't believe what he's seeing from his team. And it's not the fact that Rangers are being great. They're just pressing quite well. And
it's got to be more trouble for Aberdeen here, Kenny. Esther Sokler's gone down the middle of the park. I think he's done his hamstring. He's got up briefly, but he's limping about. He's signalled to the bench already. It wouldn't surprise me if Kevin Nisbet is called upon. But Aberdeen look like they've lost Esther Sokler after 27 minutes. Yeah, County have put it out. He's holding his hamstring. He went down. Nobody near him. So it looks like it's going to be a change for Aberdeen.
Kevin Nisbet's just not really kicked on a chance there at Ibrox.
Great move. Really good break again. Yanis Hadji, who I have to say started well, got the goal, done really well to retain possession around the halfway line, managed to switch the play out, and it was Cherney down the right hand side and Yilmaz on his bike beyond him. Unfortunately for him, it was his right foot and hit the side net.
Craigs, I actually think that was defended. I'm not sure who the player was that tracked the run from Yilmaz, but it looked like it was a block that should have been a corner for Rangers.
I think it was Greg Taylor because for that
Taylor,
stage,
that
stage
it looked as if he got a nick. Left foot was outstretched, and I seen then Yilmaz protesting after it. Looked pretty dead on.
I think what you're seeing here at Ibrox is a team that knows they have to win. Like there's no tomorrow if they don't win against a team that it could afford to lose a game. It doesn't really matter if
have to win for what.
But Tom, it backs up the inconsistency argument.
It does, totally,
Rangers
Craig.
Go from
100%.
playing well in the final, playing win against Spurs, dropping off against St Mirren, dropping off against Motherwell.
Yep.
No one expected this first half performance. Certainly I didn't, coming here at Ibrox this afternoon.
They look really good. They look fluent. They look dangerous. They're working incredibly hard.
They look hungry, Tom.
They do.
There was things against Motherwell. The body language of some of the players was atrocious. It was as if to say we're going through the motions. And when you're a Rangers player, even a Celtic player, you can't afford to do that. But today, polar opposite.
Yeah, so conditions look a bit better up there at Batordry, Robbo?
Yeah, it's coming and going. You can see the skyline beyond now. It's blue, and the snow's got away. I wouldn't surprise me if there's more coming but sadly it's the end, as we've said, for Esther Sokler. He's done his hamstring. He's limping off. Kevin Nisbet's going to replace him, but I tell you what, he's still got to go back. That's a goal of the season contender.
Yeah.
What a strike from Aki O'Reilly. He took a lovely pass from Chilvers, just set it up the inside his foot, and then he smashed it. Ross Deward had absolutely no chance.
A chance for Kevin Nisbet, John, to make an impression. It's just not really happened for him at the Dons. He was off to a decent start.
Well, it's funny, this is a game, you go back to the 98th minute in Dingwall, Kevin Nisbet come on, he scored late on, so this is an opportunity for him now. He's not had many, and his team need him, to be brutally honest, because Aberdeen so far, we're half an hour in here, there's going to be a lot of injury time played in the first half, but we're half an hour in here and Aberdeen have literally not laid a glove on Ross County. County have had 3 efforts at goals, one blocked, one saved by Ross Dewar, and then the wonder strike goal, and by the way, deserved their lead. So Aberdeen need to dig something out, and it would help them and Kevin Nisbet if you could get going.
Looking at the live table, the bottom 3 all played 21 games as things stand. County 22 points, Hearts 20, St Johnstone 15 points, and it just looks a matter of time, Stephen, there at McDermott Park. There's been so many opportunities for Hibs.
Yeah, so many, but Hibs, Chris Cadden took a slack touch and St Johnstone kind of got a foothold back in the game, and they're really trying to work that channel in behind Jack Iredale. A big shout for Rocky Bashir, who's defended it really well on the cover. Obviously, from his own goal at Tynecastle, he's been excellent the last couple of games, and he's came to Hibs' rescue a couple of times in the counter-attack.
Anything at all from Motherwell at Tynecastle, Alan?
Not a shot at goal so far from them. Really disappointing display so far. 33 minutes gone, Kenny. Hearts have dominated, had more chances, scored that goal. Motherwell shown nothing so far. Plenty of time to go though, over an hour left.
Do you see a future at all for Boyce at the club, Alan?
No, I don't, I'm afraid. I think his injuries have really caught up on him. He's terrific, honestly. Watching him today, even with young Wilson, you can see him talking him through the game, and this is invaluable for the youngster. And they need someone like a Boyce, but someone that's on the pitch more. He's been dogged with injuries. He's a terrific footballer, but unfortunately I think his time's come and gone at Hearts at the end of the season.
Alan, we mentioned the protest earlier on. Liam Corbett from This Is My Story podcast, who joined us a couple of times in the programme, he said, I believe Tom mentioned earlier in the show that protest wasn't anything to do with the Ultras. It wasn't arranged by them. Today was a show of numbers to show that people aren't happy.
Well, how many? 150 people. That's what Brian McLaughlin said around that. I'm sure people aren't happy, but
he's confirming that. He said that, and they said it was silent as well. There was no singing, there was no nothing. I think it's maybe just people turning up to see who's going to protest. It's maybe people turning up to see the turner-uppers.
I think there's a lot of talk about...
another classic here from David Dickinson. He awarded a free kick to Aberdeen 20 yards out and marched the ball back 10 yards before putting white spray on top of the snow. Much to the delight of the Aberdeen fans.
No way. No way he used that white spray.
I swear to God, Leah.
No
he got his
chance.
spray out and sprayed it, and the whole of the Aberdeen fans over the far side burst out laughing.
No,
and he suddenly realised what he'd done, and he tried to rescue it by scraping his foot along the... It's a belter.
Creature of habit.
I don't know if it's heading your way, but Aileen Clifford sent a picture in on Twitter, a picture of the snow in Bridge of Dawn, not looking good at all, and also very, very dark there as well, but it does look a wee bit better.
Yeah, it's fine here now. Honestly, I can see way into the distance. You can see over the rooftops to the flats away beyond towards the city centre. You can see up to the graveyard. Absolutely no problem at all. The snow is off for the moment, but if we've got another half hour of what we had in the first 15 minutes, then... And the bizarre thing is, they've cleared both boxes, but they've not done anything about the halfway line. So if there's any tight offside calls, it's going to be very interesting indeed.
Crags, I've just had a look at the challenge from Alistair Johnson
on Yanis Hadji. Don Robertson spoke to him, but that's all he's done. There was no yellow card or
clever
anything.
when you see it in the replay.
It was very clumsy because
he actually motions with he actually kind of motions with his elbow as he's up in the air.
I don't think it would have been a red. I mean, possibly a yellow for a reckless challenge, I would have thought.
For me, it's a yellow card. Definitely should have been a yellow card. Really dangerous.
Boyce again, really good block. Motherwell defending for their lives here. Good play on the left hand side. Spittle gives it to Boyce, gets a shot off, just blocked away for another corner.
What do they need? We know they've got the striker in on loan from Union Saint-Gilloise, Alan.
Centre halves at the moment because they're running thin with Kingsley and Frankie Kent being out long term. I still think they need a right back because I think Oyegoki's a centre half playing right back. Forrester's done great for a young boy, but I'd like to get a better right back in and a winger of some sort, plus two strikers.
Just seen some pictures, Rory, of Derek McInnes barking instructions from the dugout area there. Will he be happy with what he's seen from his side with 35 minutes played?
Yeah, I think so. Final third has been a little bit rushed at times. St Mirren are coming into the game ever so slightly, but they're quite direct. I don't like saying that about St Mirren because I feel like they're known sometimes as quite a physical side. They're quite direct, but I think they're very good to watch at times as well. Today they haven't been particularly good to watch. They are growing into the game, but Kilmarnock looked good on the counter-attack as well. Olasanya looks a lonely figure up front at times. Ayunga's not really been up the pitch to support him. Kilmarnock good for their 1-0 lead. Bobby Wales, although he's shown his inexperience at times and given the ball away and made the wrong decision, looks a really good player, good technical player, intelligent player, so I've enjoyed watching him out on the left hand side. But Kilmarnock good for their 1-0 lead so far.
Yellow card was that, Crags, for Callum McGregor?
For Callum McGregor, and it probably just shows the frustration.
Yeah, I was going to say,
because it was a free kick, but there was a 5 or 6 seconds for him to get back in the ball. He could have stepped away from it.
I really unlike him. Just shows you that he's obviously not having the best of games.
I wouldn't be surprised if Brendan makes subs
at
half time. We've spoken often enough about the strength and depth the Celtic have. They've got nowhere near the levels that they expect in this game. Too many big players have gone missing. I know Thomas said it's a game that they don't have anything to play for, but we all know the Old Firm rivalry. The Celtic fans will be demanding better than what they're saying so far.
I still think Rangers need a second goal here.
They do. These games are always
because Celtic will just come at them and they will score. I'm convinced of it. Because Rangers are just completely dominating this game in every facet. None of the Celtics go-to guys are delivering so far.
It's so unlike Celtic.
Yep.
So unlike them. Whether it becomes a game of two halves, and you're right, Crags, maybe half time, maybe one change just to send a warning shot to the rest of the Celtic team. Brendan Rodgers is probably looking at it just now. He could change at least 4 or 5 and do it without hesitation.
And again, the referee stops the game. Hearts are on the attack and he blows up for a foul to Hearts. Just a bit too eager, the referee here. Let it develop. You can always bring it back 2 or 3 seconds later if it doesn't work.
Yeah, just looking at the games coming into the studio here on Sport Sound, open all mics. There's the option of commentary from the game at Ibrox. Don't forget 5:30, the Dundee derby, full commentary to come from that one.
The amount of times that Rangers have robbed Celtic of possession has been incredible.
It has
Absolutely
been tough.
incredible.
I couldn't agree more. And clearly the crowd are getting behind the players, but sometimes when you're coming into a game and you're feeling under a little bit of pressure and your confidence is moved, the instinct is to take a step back, whereas Rangers are actually taking a step forward, and it's making all the difference. You're right, Hatate can't get lifting his head, Maida can't get lifting his head, Callum McGregor can't get lifting his head. That just comes from the sheer pressure of the Rangers players.
Yeah, Liam Scales just putting the ball back to...
I wonder, is it in part a performance inspired by fear?
There it is again, another square ball given away by Leo Hatate. Leo Hatate's been really poor this afternoon.
But a performance inspired by fear.
To win a game like that, regardless of how they play.
Say that again, Rory.
I'm just wondering, I feel that there's been so many occasions where Rangers have played relatively well in these games for spells, but they've not really had the mental side of the game to get it over the line, to actually get the win over the line. Just wondering if Tom and Craggs think that they're going to be able to do that as the game ticks on.
Unless they get a second goal, honestly, Rory, I'd worry. As I said a second ago, it looks to me like Rangers are playing a little bit out of fear, in a good sense. Fear that 50,000 people are going to bury them if they don't play. Fear that whatever remote chance of winning the league they have would go today. Fear that a manager might be sacked. They look very, very good. They look very sharp, very on it. But that second goal, as we know, they were 1-0 up in the cup final. They had that 4v1, 4v2 breakaway. They butcher that. If they make that 2-0, they might win the cup. They don't.
I think the damning fact for Celtic is you've got Liam Kelly in goal. Okay, he's an experienced goalkeeper, making his second only ever Rangers appearance, his first Old Firm game, and he's not had a save to make. He has not been tested in any way, shape or form, and he's not the tallest. And last season at Motherwell there was balls in the box and it caused him a few issues. They haven't had anything. They haven't been up that end of the pitch. Nicholas Kuhn, who I said last week was probably the player of the season so far, he hasn't had a kick all afternoon. And Yilmaz for Rangers, a left back playing right back, has been outstanding.
Yeah, he's looked very comfortable, you'd have to say, on the ball. Just another misplaced pass there from Celtic. So Aberdeen 0, Ross County 1, Hearts 1, Motherwell 0, Kilmarnock 1, St Mirren 0, Rangers 1, Celtic 0, St Johnstone 0, Hibs 0, 5:30 start, Dens Park. Full commentary to come, Dundee at home to Dundee United. Let's get back to the game at McDermott Park. Just seen Hibs on the attack now.
Yeah, it's good play from Kwon. He's made a brilliant run. The one thing from Hibs is, the system formation change. The one thing they seem to be lacking here is an out-and-out striker. You look at the bench, Dwight Gale, you wonder if we'll see him really early into the second half, because there's loads of instances like that, Kenny, where balls are just flashing across, and by trade, Boyle and Hoylett are both wingers. There's nobody there, there's not a number 9 there to get on the end of one of them.
What's the atmosphere like at Pittodrie, John Robertson? The natives getting a little bit restless there?
No, they're very, very quiet, that's for sure. They're not really having a go. They're very, very quiet, there's no doubt about that. And they've done nothing, to be fair. Ken, that's us 40 minutes into the game, and really just 2 minutes ago,
tackle from Jason Holt.
Keskin had a shot block, but that's it.
Right, okay.
Keep a wee eye out for
Rocky
it.
Bashiri's ran, the referee's got a booking for his sins. Jason Holt's been booked, but it looked a really naughty one from where I am.
Right,
Yeah,
we'll see
we're
a
just waiting for a
replay.
replay. I see Bashiri running at the referee. Not to discredit Jason Holt, but he does have that in his locker at times.
He's getting as far
be
away from possible as
a
the
bit
referee.
fiery. It's going to be a red card, I reckon, if they review this. Stephen,
so?
I've seen it in first instance. I don't even think I need the slow-mo. He catches him in the shin. He's out of control. I'd be really surprised if the referee's not asked to review this. I'm just not entirely sure how much contact there is, but it definitely looked to me in full speed that he catches him above the ankle.
I think sometimes you can tell from players' reactions. Yeah, he's coming over to the screen now.
Yeah, Leanne usually calls these things spot on. The referees are sometimes a wee bit out of sync, certainly in recent weeks, but that looked a pretty awful tackle there from Holt on Chris Cadden, wasn't it?
I don't think there's an awful lot of force, but he's out of control, and it's the lunge motion for me and the point of contact, which I think is just far too high. He'll be doing well, Holt, if this remains a yellow. He just gets it completely wrong. He's caught wrong-sided, blind-side, almost. We're just getting a couple of replays in the studio just now, Stephen. I don't know if you can see the referees. He's still reviewing the...
Yeah, he's just coming onto the pitch now, Lloyd Wilson. Yeah, I think this is going to be a red card.
Oh, that's bad. Yeah, that angle there.
Guys, it's clear card.
Again.
Yeah.
Ankle buckling.
It's a red card. He's
that's
Jason
good to
Holt
see.
All
over.
day. Red card all day.
Yeah.
Right, so absolutely up against it now, St Johnstone, no doubt at all about that one. As things stand, they are 5 points adrift at the foot of the table, and they're up against an informed Hibs side, and they'll have to play the remainder of this game with 10 men after that reckless challenge there from Jason Holt. Also, an injury concern there at Rugby Park, Rory.
Kyle Vassell, I didn't realise how bad it was. I didn't actually catch what happened. It seemed to happen after the ball went out for the corner. But I mean, he's hobbling off here. He's got two physios either side of him, arms wrapped around him, and he's a strong boy, Kyle Vassell. He wouldn't be doing that unless he had to. So it's going to be a blow. He's been excellent. Him and Bruce Anderson. Bruce Anderson's mistimed his run a couple of times in behind him and caught offside, but anytime he's timed it well, Jakovic and Gogic have really struggled against him, and anytime it's come up to Vassell, he's won the physical battle. To be honest with you, last time you were with me I said St Mirren were starting to come into the game. The unforced errors since then have been awful. Gogic has passed the ball out the pitch a couple of times. Tanser's done the same. I think Stephen Robertson may make changes at half time. St Mirren have been that poor. It's the poorest I've seen them in a long time. Kilmarnock have got a corner now. They're still 1-0 up.
Yeah, Celtic also very poor at home, away at Rangers there, Steve. Every time I look up, the home side just seem to be having chance after chance.
Well, I have to say, their defensive structure behind the ball is very good. They're patient. It isn't very often they're having to go and press the centre half. So allowing Celtic to have the ball to an extent, but the number of times they've nicked the ball in midfield or they've turned the ball over has been incredibly impressive. And it's all to do with timing and making sure you have numbers around the ball. Then when they do that, Kenny, they're having quality at the top end of the pitch. Barami is probably having one of his best games in a Rangers jersey, playing in that number 10 role where he is a centre midfield player as opposed to being someone who plays off the left-hand side. But yeah, they're completely unrecognisable from the team over the last two games, away to St Mirren and away to Motherwell.
They're finding an awful lot of space, Stephen, aren't they? Particularly down Greg Taylor's side.
Yeah, they are. Do you know why? Because Dyson Maida's not tracking back. Yeah. And every time the ball goes to Cherney, Yilmaz is just taking off. He's taking risks, he's gambling, he's making it a 2v1, and Greg Taylor's getting overloaded.
Yeah, certainly Rangers the dominant side there at Ibrox. As the guys are saying, they could all change. Everyone feels that they need a second goal in that game. The first goal coming
Kyle
from
McGuinness
Yanis
has come on,
Hadji.
Kenny, sorry. Kyle McGuinness has come on for Kyle Vassell. Good to see him back. I know he's been back a couple of weeks now, but player I played with at St Mirren when he was coming through, really talented. So I just hope he can stay injury free, because he'll be a big plus for Derek McInnes coming back.
Yeah, there's a lot of injury problems, no doubt at all about that. Let's get back to the game at Tynecastle. Alan, happy from what you've seen from Hearts in the opening 45?
Yeah, it's been domination. Motherwell have been really poor. I'm really surprised because they've been terrific this season, but I'm sure Stuart Kettlewell, Stevie Frail will have a wee go at half time. They've not had a shot at goal, none on target, no shots at all. Hearts have had 9 shots, 4 on target, got that goal from Musa Drama early on in the game, and they've dominated, and it'll be really disappointing for Stuart Kettlewell, but Neil Critchley will be absolutely delighted if they can get in at least 1-0 up, which it looks like they could do. We're into 3 added on minutes where it's still Hearts 1, Motherwell 0.
A bit of time to be added on at Pittodrie after that stoppage to try and clear some of the snow off the park there. Any improvement from the home side, John?
Nope. The fans have been very patient so far. I've got to say, there's a few grumbles, but they were just summed up there with Duke. They got a great break. Duke got into the box 1-on-1 against Akil Wright, and he knocked it past him and he duffed his shot, and I mean duffed it well wide of the post, which brought a few howls of derision from the home fans. But I've got to say, they've been quite patient, Aberdeen, but County have really deserved this lead. They've been the brighter team. They've got really stuck in. They're not giving Aberdeen a minute on the ball, and they're just gone on to 10 minutes of injury time from the clearing the pitch. Couple of County boys have gone down, so it could be a long old afternoon.
I don't think we'll see any difference in terms of reaction from Jimmy Tilleen, will we? This poor result run they're on, John. He's been pretty constant throughout all this. Not too high, not too low. He said
early in the season, when Willie was getting particularly excited, and rightly so, that it was good, it was fine, that they had a lot to work on, they were still improving, they had to keep working away, and they scored a lot of late goals, yes, but the difference looking at them is there's certainly a lack of energy. There's no doubt about that. There's not anywhere near as vibrant and moving the ball as quickly as they did before. It's definitely confidence though. You can see it. They're a team that played quite off the cuff and just took chances early on in the campaign, whereas now they're a bit more methodical. They want to take that extra touch.
Off the line again from Musulik. The Hibs fans behind the goal are claiming for a handball, but I think it's come off his side. Really good play from Junior Hoylett. I think it's
at Tynecastle. Hearts 1, Motherwell 0.
Thanks, Al. We'll get a wee look at this.
First instinct, it looks as if it's his side, certainly his body.
Player's not really
to me
claiming.
Like his arm was Possibly his thigh. No, I don't think it's his arm. And his arm looked kind of tucked in by his body. This one might give us a better look. No,
it's gone from his thigh, maybe just clipped his hand.
Yeah,
I mean, I think
that.
And very, very little in terms of the Hibs players claiming for that one.
The thing, Kenny, with Jimmy Talene, just to get back to that as well, is that I don't think he'll change too much in his reaction. But I suppose we don't know him that well yet as a manager in Scotland and how he deals with the media. He's had it good at the beginning. He's now working through this period. What he's probably doing is working his way through a checklist now with post-match reasonings for the performances, and the one that we've had has been an apology. The last one's been an apology. That won't happen again. It's been one of the worst. So now where do you kind of go? I don't know if we might then see just a snappier side to him, that he shortens the answers, that there's less to be said. Because for the longer it goes, the more difficult it is going to become to justify the poor run of form, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Based on how good they were and how good the run had been previously.
And also, you have to. I know people say maybe there's a bit of revisionism here. I would disagree with that, but you've got to look at their runs of victories. Everything went their way.
Yeah.
The fixture schedule, to revisit that one, that was kindly to them. They got a long run of matches without any injuries. Fellas coming off the bench and scoring winners. Late on.
Here for County. Blocked. A terrible mistake there from Clarkson. County on the break. I think we're going to have another couple of minutes added on because Malloy went down with a head knock, but they broke away there. Poor defending from Clarkson there, and they just about thought it was a good ball in the box.
Leanne, have a look at this at Ibrox.
Penalty to St Johnstone.
Oh, right. So let's have a look at this one.
Have a look at it, Leanne. It seems Rocky Bashiri's got a hold of Jack Sanders and he's lost.
Yeah.
He's just watching him, and Jack Sanders dropped to the ground and.
Yeah, clumsy
from
Bashiri. I'll get a look at that again, Stephen, just to go back to Ibrox Trags. I had a look at the elbow, Jefty.
Yeah, there was one Jefty against Nicholas Kuhn.
Yeah, look, he's busted his nose.
There was a flailing arm. Now, blood isn't always... blood isn't always a defining factor.
No.
However, it looked from here that the arm was in the air.
He's looked to try and just change direction. He's kind of pushed off with the right foot. The left arm's come back. Kuhn slightly dipped. He's dipped slightly. He's just looking for the body, I think, to push off the body of Kuhn, just to give him that wee bit of a head start, and he catches him flush in the face. Now the referee might be asked to go and look at it.
He issued a yellow.
I don't think he's. It doesn't look great. I wouldn't be surprised if the referee's asked to have a look at it.
Right, and just when we're doing that, penalty awarded at McDermott.
Yeah, Nicky Clark just about to step up against Jordan Smith. It came from a really slack moment from Lewis Miller. He almost encouraged St Johnstone to get back into the game. St Johnstone won a couple of corners, and such a cheap penalty to go away. Dave Gray looks raging at the side.
It's such a stupid one. In this season, Stephen, what we've got used to is that when you're not looking at the ball, when you're not interested in that, and you've got a hold of the player inside the penalty area, you're running the risk.
Yep. Nicky Clark steps up. Goal! 1-0 St Johnstone. Sends Jordan Smith the wrong way.
That could be absolutely huge for St Johnstone. They have been up against it. Hibs have had several chances. And what a fantastic penalty, Leanne, wasn't it?
Yeah, brilliant, really good from Nicky Clark. He's ever so reliable. It's Clark, and it could be a massive goal this afternoon, down to 10 players. They're going to be up against it. Certainly in the second half, as time goes on, you would expect Hibs to look to try and get themselves back level, having had as many at least half chances as they've had. But
Kenny, when the red card happened with 5 minutes to half time, I thought the game would play out where St Johnstone just tried to get into half time to regroup. He kept the three strikers in the park. There was absolutely no movement on the bench, and St Johnstone have still been committing bodies, and Hibs with their slack play, as I said, Lewis Miller get caught in the ball. You always run that risk, but really brave play from Simo Valakari.
Yeah, listen, fair play to him. So we had a big debate about
half-time
just as he two attacking. So half-time there.
Chance for Ross County! Oh! What a save from Doohan there. County got clear. They've put a one to Aberdeen fans are starting to get a bit boisterous now, but they've got through there. And it was, I think it was Noah Kenny who was clean through. Doohan's managed to save it, and they've managed to scramble away Aberdeen. But I tell you what, Ross County will be raging that they're not at least 2 goals ahead here.
And this is a side, John, that has struggled away from home, but my goodness, they had a fantastic performance at Dens Park.
Listen, their setup's perfect for away from home. They're leaving Jordan way up front of his own, and they've got the back five, and then the midfield 4 that are getting up to support, but they're moving it quickly. There's a confidence about them. There's a real, as we know already, they're a hard team to break down. They work ever so hard, and when they work this hard, they're very difficult to play through. I'd say Aberdeen have not laid a glove on Ross County today, and that's doing second, maybe third save. And as I say, we've had the goal as well.
Yeah, big chance.
Yeah, corner kick. Celtic have been pushed in the last couple of minutes. Rangers haven't managed to get out. That is the half-time whistle just gone, but I think it was Rayo Hatate had a strike from the edge of the box. Liam Kelly had to make his first save right on half-time.
Yeah, he catches it really well. Hatate almost just in the half volley. I think it sits up. Good stop from Kelly. A number of bodies in front of him.
So I just right on the whistle, Nico Raskin and Callum McGregor went head-to-head there, but Loggerhead's a referee and the players have had to get involved. So a feisty end of the first half, but it's Rangers 1, Celtic 0.
Nico Raskin, was he the only player to be booked there? Craigs, with the coming together.
So we can see they came together there, and what happened? So then there's a bit of mouthing, and Raskin's grabbed Callum McGregor by the shot, quite high up. He's pushed him away. Callum McGregor's laughing. Cherney comes in. He's pushing Raskin away. There's a few verbals there, Leanne, but that's pretty.
Grabbing somebody by the shirt near the neck, that's obviously a red card in Scottish football, isn't it?
It's very dangerous. Tom, you know that.
No, but it's interesting.
I'm joking, of course.
It's a head clash here at Pittodrie. It looks like they're both getting on, and we're into the 52nd minute. We're due 55. This game, I'll tell you right now, there'll be games kicking off the second half before we're finished here. And the snow has started to pile down again.
Philippe Clement is having words with Don Robertson as they leave the park there. Rangers ahead. Yanis Hadji with that goal. Clement not happy at all. Just a wee bit of afters there between McGregor and Raskin, just right on the break. But Rangers have the lead, but all the guys feel that they should really be getting that second goal. They want to feel reasonably comfortable in this game, because Celtic had that chance right at the end of the half there. A great strike from Hatate and a decent save, you'd have to say, from Liam Kelly.
If I was a Rangers fan, I'd be delighted. Apart from the fact that they've only got one goal, they should have two. Be delighted with that little contretemps at the end. McGregor being shaken out of his natural rhythm there by Raskin. That's what you want to see. If you're a Rangers fan, you want to see your Rangers players noising up Celtic on the pitch. And obviously they've got the advantage as well. But that is one of the worst 45 minutes I've seen from Celtic in an Old Firm game in many years.
Yeah, they've been poor, and it tells you how poor they've been when Callum McGregor certainly allows his emotions to be as visible as they've been. And it's interesting for Don Robertson, because he's got a job to do as a referee, the man in the middle, to keep a lid on it. And normally when you've got two players like that, I know Raskin's got the shirt pulled and he's been yellow carded, they're coming together. Callum McGregor's on a yellow card, to allow himself to become embroiled in that. Normally the referee would just flash a yellow at both players and nip it in the bud. He's had to make that decision that obviously it was more Raskin than McGregor, but heading in just at half time, it's the last thing that the Celtic manager, I don't think, would want to see is his captain getting caught up in it.
The only positive in that entire half for Celtic is that they're only losing 1-0.
Yeah, I'd like to see that challenge again of Nicholas Kuhn that burst his nose.
It's accidental to me.
Right.
Yeah,
it is. Look, it's not clever in terms of the contact, but for me, Tom, when I looked at it initially, I did think accidental. And going back to the Alistair Johnson one, I felt there was a wee bit more intent from him behind Hadji when he's up in the air and his elbow motioned up the way, which catches Hadji almost just at the bottom of his skull and at the top of his back. So look, it's an Old Firm game. There's going to be players looking to try and play on the edge. I totally get it, but you're treading a thin line.
Big chance here, folks. Aberdeen free kick 20 yards out. Kevin Nisbet. Oh, goal!
Huge moment there.
It'll have to be checked, but what a mistake from the Ross County keeper. We are now 55 minutes in. Kevin Nisbet hits it low to his left hand side. The keeper should save it. It's gone underneath him. It's spun along the line. He's trying to get back. The linesmans gave it. The referees gave it. Kevin Nisbet has equalised in the 55th minute of the first half, and I still think there's 2 or 3 minutes to go here. It's Aberdeen 1, Ross County 1.
Just explain to listeners who are just tuning in, the reason for the delay there is really difficult conditions at Pittodrie. Heavy snow, that to delay the game to
snow, to
the
be
lines.
fair, Kenny. We've had snow, and there was a good 5-6 minute delay for that, but we've also had 3 head knocks. And Michael Affetti's had to come off and be replaced. It looks like a concussion substitute. Josh Harmon's come on, and then just there after 52 minutes there was another head knock there with McGrath and Lapata. So again, it's been a lot of things for the referee to deal with here, but we've had 3 stoppages for head knocks, We've also had the snow stoppage. The snow is battering down again as we talk about here, but Aberdeen won't care. The goal has been given. We're 56 minutes into this first half. It's 1-1.
The contrasting conditions, Robbo, I'm looking at the screens. The sprinklers are on at half-time. Tynecastle just making the pitch a little bit slicker.
Yeah, it's been very, very tough up there at Pittodrie. So Hearts 1, Motherwell 0, Kilmarnock 1, St Mirren 0, Rangers 1, Celtic 0, St Johnstone 1, Hibs 0, Saints down to 10 men, 5:30 start. Dundee at home to Dundee United, full commentary to come. Just hearing from John Robertson, one apiece there at Pittodrie, still playing deep into first half stoppage time.
Aberdeen! Oh, Nisbet! It's still in the box. Kiskinen, oh, a wee chat. This was like we talked about the other day there with County. County have controlled all the first half. They've lost a goal 10 minutes into stoppage time, and then they just about lost another one there as Nisbet and McGrath had a chance.
Yeah, and Ross County had several chances to go 2-0 up in that game, but Aberdeen right back in it. Welcome back to listeners who have been tuned into the commentary from Ibrox. Those also joining us on BBC Radio 5 Live. It's a dramatic day, a full card in Scottish football, and plenty more to come on Sport Sound right here on BBC Radio Scotland. Let's then get to our commentary match. It's Rangers against Celtic at Ibrox. Let's hear from our commentary team, Pat Bonner, Billy Dodds and Liam McLeod.
I think given the insipid nature of Rangers' performances in their last couple of league games at St Mirren and Motherwell, the supporters here were perhaps a little bit concerned coming up against the juggernaut that is Brendan Rodgers' Celtic, who are 14 points clear at the top of the table. It's been a vibrant, electrifying Rangers performance that has them 1-0 up at the interval. Yanis Hadji scoring 7 minutes in after Celtic started the game brightly. Kyogo had a chance inside the opening couple of minutes but couldn't take it, kind of swiped at fresh air. But Hadji's goal, as he arrowed it into the bottom right from the edge of the box, was expertly taken as he celebrated in front of the Rangers supporters and his father, Georgi, the legend, who is here watching his son play and open the scoring. Rangers dominated. They've been at Celtic from the off. They've been right in about them. They're not allowing Celtic to get into any kind of rhythm at all. Callum McGregor's not enjoying himself, which perhaps underlines the fact that Celtic aren't enjoying themselves in this game so far, though they did test Liam Kelly for the first time in the match in first half stoppage times. The low effort into the ground from Rio Hitati bounced back up and Kelly threw himself to his right to make the save from the volley from the Japan midfielder, and then it all kicked off after the half-time whistle, all because I think the Rangers supporters and players were irate that Nicholas Kuhn, who'd been off the pitch or just down on the side of the pitch here receiving treatment, he wasn't told to come off the playing surface and enter at the halfway line. This irked the, as John says, 1-1 half-time at Pittodrie there in the game between Aberdeen and Ross County. But that saw a series of incidents on the pitch which Don Robertson will have to sort out in his paperwork at half-time. We're going to have to sort out, because at Paki Bona there were a few players I think booked in the melee that followed the half-time whistle there, so I'm going to have to go and check that. But anyway, it's 1-0 Rangers at the break, and you have to say, your old team, this is as poor as they've been all season against a really good Rangers team.
Fully deserved for Rangers. They've apart from maybe the first couple of minutes, they've dominated Celtic in that half. They've been first to the ball. Any ball that dropped in midfield, they picked it up. They've pressed them high. Celtic have really struggled to pass through the thirds of the pitch, and when they can't do that, then they can't get their forwards into play, and that's their strength. So they've a lot of work to do at half time. Brendan Rodgers have to settle them down and see can they actually get their rhythm going in the second half. They'll continue to play as they normally do, trying to pass the ball, but if it's not poor passing, with Rangers being really high in energy, then they've really struggled.
Billy Dodds is here as well. Billy, just a quick word with you. Rangers more than deserving of their lead at the interval here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, apart from 2 minutes, Celtic created a couple of chances, and then Rangers, Liam, once they got a grip of the game, they got the balance of the press and coming off the game perfect. They get a goal, they could have had more. Now they just have to concentrate for every minute of this game or get a second goal to try and kill this off.
Wild celebrations from Philippe Clement when that ball hit the net. You can understand why, given the pressure that he is under personally this afternoon. Half-time, it is Rangers 1, Celtic 0.
Big second half ahead at Ibrox. Full commentary to come there. Let's continue our bounce around the grounds. Let's get to Tynecastle. Hearts at home to Motherwell, and hear from Alan Preston.
We were just started the second half, Kenny, and in 50 seconds in the first half, Hearts almost took the lead. It was brilliant play again on the left by Penrice, who whips his crossing, and there's Boyce from about 8 yards. Got to do better with the header, heads it over. But they got the goal in 8 minutes. It was a spittle corner. It was headed up in the air. It was dropping right under the crossbar. The keeper, Oxborough, comes out. It's nowhere near it, and it's knocked into the back of the net by Musa Drama. The referee, who's Callum Scott, had blown for a free kick, but anyway, asked to go and look at the VAR screen to change his view on it, and right enough, the goal was given to Hearts. It was all Hearts at that point. Musa Drama to the byline, cut back, Boyce had a shot blocked, then Forrester to Drama, he also had a shot blocked as well. We've got 3 changes for Motherwell in the start of the second half. Zawrowski's on, Nicholson's on, and Moses is on, and Sparrow, Payton and Blaney have gone off. Stuart Kettlewell's men, not a shot on target in that opening period. He'll be bitterly disappointed. Into the second half, Hearts 1, Motherwell 0.
Yeah, he had to change something. Very poor from Motherwell, very good from Hearts. The home side also in control at Rugby Park. Kilmarnock against St Mirren. Rory Loy.
Yes, indeed. Kilmarnock go into the break 1-0 up. The teams are just coming out the tunnel now, and I can already see Mark O'Hara has left the tunnel and will be on in the second half. We'll get to see who's going to replace. However, St Mirren very poor in the first half, and Kilmarnock capitalised just 6 minutes in when Gogic went to put one down the line. Bruce Anderson closed him down. He got the deflection, he chased it down, and he cut across Alex Gogic in the box and was judged to have tripped him up, and the referee, Colin Stephen, pointed to the spot. Bruce Anderson, however, missed the penalty, but one of those that fell straight back into his path, and he blasted into an empty net for 1-0 Kilmarnock. So, you know, St Mirren have been really poor, I have to say, in that first half. They are bringing their captain, Mark O'Hara, on, so that may make a difference. Ocean Smith is the man he's going to replace. St Mirren need a big performance in this second half. Kilmarnock 1-0 up.
Thanks to Rory Loy. Real drama towards the end of the first half at McDermott Park. St Johnstone home to Hibs. Let's hear from Stephen McGinn.
Yeah, 1-0 here to the home side. St Johnstone started the game really bright. He seemed to really target down this left-hand channel of Hibs, in behind Jack Iredale. Sidibe had the beating of him right from early on, and for the first 15-20 minutes St Johnstone were really bright. Then Hibs just came into the game so strong. St Johnstone looked like they were about to concede every time the ball came in the box, and for all the strength of Hibs' recent performances, it's been the 2 players playing up front, playing out wide, but they're really missing that man between the sticks, the striker, to turn some really good crosses into the box. Lewis Miller, Jason Holt with a red card out of kind of nothing. It seemed to just lunge into Chris Cadden. You could tell right away from the Hibs reaction it wasn't a good one. Rocky Bashiri getting a yellow for his complaints. He ran from his position in the back straight to the referee, Lloyd Wilson. Lloyd Wilson asked to come over to the screen from Grant Irvin, and it didn't take him long to change it from a yellow card to a red card. St Johnstone down to 10 men. As I said in commentary, I thought the first thing he would do was take off one of his 3 strikers. He didn't. He moved Sidibe a bit wider and Nicky Clark back into centre midfield, and he's had his rewards. Simo Valakari, Lewis Miller been really slack on the ball against Kimpioka. St Johnstone won a couple of corners, and from the second corner, really good delivery, but Rocky Bashiri, I gave him credit for how well he's been playing. He just pulls at Jack Sanders, who drops to the ground. Lloyd Wilson had no hesitation, point to the spot, and Nicky Clark sent Jordan Smith the wrong way. So big half-time talk for Dave Gray to continue this winning run.
Yeah, they went this one 4 wins on the bounce. You'd have to see a great penalty from Nicky Clark, particularly given the long delay there. Let's get to the game at Pittodrie. John Robertson, it's been eventful.
It certainly has. It's been long, that's for sure. We've had 1 hour of play in the first half due to various stoppages for the snow and head knocks. There's 3 or 4 head knocks, one which led to the Aberdeen equaliser in the 10th minute of injury time. But it was County that come out the traps. Chilvers, after just 6 minutes, had a shot from the byline, rattled across, well saved by Ross Doohan. And in the 13th minute, Nisbet, who's on a scoring run for Ross County at the moment, also had a shot that ricocheted through for the Aberdeen keeper to knock away. Aberdeen hadn't even got out of their own half on most of it, and then they went behind the 24th minute. A corner was cleared. Chilvers chipped it to Akil Wright, and from 25 yards, the big centre-half first took a touch and then smashed an unstoppable shot from 25 yards into Ross Doohan's top-hand corner to give County a well-deserved lead. Aberdeen had nothing. 38 minutes, Keskin had a shot blocked. on the 18-yard line was as much as he could muster. The 5th minute of injury time, Ross County spawned a glorious chance to go 2-0 up when Nohan Kenny would put clean through. Ross Doohan did superbly well to stand up and keep Aberdeen into the game. Into the 10th minute of injury time, after a clash of heads between McGrath and Lapat at the edge of the box, Aberdeen were awarded a free kick. Nisbet hit a low side footer one to the left hand side of the wall. The keeper really should have saved it, but it scrummed underneath him, scrummed along the line. He couldn't get back to it. Although he managed to get it out, the ball had clearly crossed the line and Aberdeen were level. Incredibly, they could have gone in front right on the stroke of half time in the 11th minute of injury time. The ball was played in. First McGrath missed a header, and then he dropped to Nisbet. His shot was blocked as Aberdeen suddenly raised the temperature. Ross County will be devastated to come in at 1-1, but it might be a long one here. The ground staff are out, they're clearing the pitch. It's going to be a lot better for the second half. And all things being equal, we'll get through it. It's Aberdeen 1, Ross County 1.
Elsewhere in the Premiership, Hearts 1, Motherwell 0, Kilmarnock 1, St Mirren 0, Rangers 1, Celtic 0, full second half commentary to come. St Johnstone 1, Hibs 0, 5:30 start. Also commentary to come from Dens Park. Dundee at home to Dundee United. It's really interesting, Tom, isn't it? Just we're waiting for the teams to come back out for the second half at Ibrox. You feel it's a big second half for Fleet. Come on, you guys were chatting before the game. Potentially his job on the line today.
Yeah, absolutely. And listen, I mean, they've delivered a really good first half. This is exactly the kind of performance, the intent, the aggression that he would want to have seen from his team. I felt that if they'd gone down with a bit of a whimper today, that he could well be sacked. They're not doing that. They're a boss on the show. The only disappointing thing for them is that they're only a goal ahead, and Celtic haven't gone away. This is still 45 minutes to play. We know how good Celtic can be. You would imagine Brendan Rodgers has put a few fixes in place at half time, because that was an insipid performance in the first half from Celtic. Careless with the ball, no threat going forward, physically outgunned. They lost every single department. They have to be better.
Can see the Celtic players coming back out at Ibrox. A choice of listening once again on Sports, and for commentary of Rangers against Celtic, tune to BBC Radio Scotland on 92 to 95 FM and BBC Sounds. If it's open all mics you want, tune to digital 810 medium wave and BBC Radio Scotland Extra on BBC Sounds, and you can catch all the action live online, bbc.co.uk/Sports Scotland.
Football from Sports Sound.
Brilliant drop of the shoulder.
BBC Radio Scotland.
There's no substitute.
You're listening to Open All Mics on Sports Sound. Straight to Tynecastle. Big chance, Alan Preston.
A really big chance to go 2-0 up Hearts. It was a corner to the back post. Halkett knocks it back to Rolls, his centre-half partner. He gets a shot off Oxborough, point blank range, manages to save it. Should have been 2-0, 53 minutes on the clock. Hearts 1, Motherwell 0.
And stay tuned for Stuart Kettlewell's post-match media conference, given his comments at the weekend. It should be quite interesting today, given what happened around the goalkeeper in that goal for Hearts. Drama with that goal on 7 minutes. Hearts certainly been dominant there at Tynecastle. Rangers have been dominant at Ibrox. Any changes in the second half from the Celtic manager, Brendan Rodgers, Stephen Craigan?
Kenny, surprisingly, no. I would imagine then he's had a stern word with the players at half-time to let them know they've got 5 or 10 minutes to up the performance.
Well, that was brilliant. George, can't wait to see this. What an effort. As Penrice cuts it back to Grant, he's at the angle of the 18-yard box. He goes for the far corner. It hits the underside of the bar and then hits Liam Boyce and goes a yard wide.
That's a great hit. Yeah, brilliant hit. Looked as if it was in actually the whole way, Alan. We were at a 3 or 4 seconds delay behind you. A lot of whip on it, so direct.
Yeah, very, very good effort there. just see the pictures, Stephen, of the Rangers players just a few minutes behind the Celtic players coming back out there, focusing on Yanis Hadji. It just makes it all more the ridiculous, Stephen, the situation around his contract that took so long to sort out. He clearly wanted to stay at the club. He felt something could be resolved in an awful long time. Yeah, take it away.
Save from the goalkeeper. I think Nicky Cadden handles this, and it's quite an obvious handball. I don't know what Leanne thinks. The ref plays on as he is, but Hibs get the corner. So it's not really fair on St Johnstone, but it is what it is. Hibs corner.
It looks in real time as clear a handball, and the fact that it could have potentially led to a goal. We're not getting a close-up. This angle here might be better.
Oh, Control with the hand?
I don't know. It's maybe actually a bit of his body, to be fair.
Right,
Chance for Hibs, Campbell. Another corner. I think Dre Wright just did enough.
Yeah, you'd imagine David Gray, who would be having very strong words with these Hibs players.
Penrith is at the byline. Oh, Boyce has got to score. That's brilliant play once again from Penrith. He gets to the byline, he picks his head up. There's Boyce making the run. You think side foot into the back of the net, and he gets it horribly wrong.
That's brilliant from Hearts, Alan, though.
Penrith's been exceptional again.
Just say that again, Alan, please. I'm going back to last week. He's been terrific this season.
That was last year, Kenny. Tell you what, the delivery's brilliant, the run's excellent. He's got to just get that final touch. And
does he go with the wrong foot?
Nah,
should he go with his left and sweep
could,
in?
He probably could. Yeah, he goes with the right.
Yeah, it was a big chance there. Just even going back to Hadji, he's been such a key player since he's come back into this Rangers side. It seems extraordinary they couldn't have resolved this quicker.
Well, you say exceptional, Kenny. Prior to today, he's had 3 assists and no goals. So for an attacking player to have all the flair and not really have any end product, so he's done okay. It probably tells you where Rangers are as a team. I mean, Yanis Hadji hasn't been a regular under 3 previous Rangers managers. He went to Celtic Vigo and wasn't a regular either. So he's still got a little bit of work to do, but his goal today is a difference so far.
What about Celtic? A bit more positive start of the second half?
Well, that's a couple of times now Kyogo's got between the 2 central defenders. Better balls up to him. He likes to run beyond people. He likes to stay free, and that's twice already. But I have to say, Dujon Sterling on a couple of occasions has defended really, really well against him, using that turn of pace that he has. Robin Proper doesn't have it, so certainly Celtic will be in the front foot. The big question is, can Rangers replicate their first half? Because certainly Celtic won't be as bad in the second half.
Is that the sound system at Pittodrie, Robbo, that we're getting a wee blast of over the open all mic for the music in the back?
It's a bit of music there. Honestly, it's going to be forever tonight. I'm just laughing. I tell you what, fair play to the ground staff, because they have just about cleared the entire pitch.
Well, the music's obviously kept them going on it. They put it a bit louder for their benefit, perhaps, because Tom and I are looking at each other going, what is that music?
Kenny's about to jump up and throw a few shapes here.
Not that far behind here. As I say, it'll be... It might be finished by the time the Dundee derby starts.
We have a wee look at the Hibs incident.
Yeah.
I think Lewis Miller actually gets caught in the box here.
Right. I see him down yet. He's got a hold of his foot, it looks like.
Oh, right.
What's the decision? Is it gone for
He's given a goal kick. It's one of those that didn't look...
Yeah, there's contact, yeah.
I think Miller's got to the ball first, and I think it's at the corner of the box.
Oh.
Now, it's difficult to see how much contact there is, but I would say he definitely gets to the ball first.
Seen a few of them this season, haven't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There was one given.
One was given and one wasn't given.
Yeah.
Now, the run at Tannadice, what's it? Was it the penalty at St Mirren?
Yeah.
Is that the game? Are they looking at it?
I would imagine they will look at this. Although the referee...
Lloyd Wilson seems to be just playing on.
Yeah. Interesting. We'll try and get a better replay, Stephen, that might definitively tell us that there was contact, but for me, Miller definitely gets to the ball first.
Yeah, play continuing there. What's happening in the early stages of the second half at Rugby Park, Rory?
None have improved ever so slightly since Mark O'Hara's come on. They've just got a corner now which goes into the box. Oh, flashes right across the face. Nobody can get a touch on it. They've made another substitute as well. Mikael Mandaron has come on for Roland Odowu, who was good against Dundee, but he's been pretty anonymous today, as is Jonah Ayunga. So St Mirren look a little bit better since they've come on. Jakoviti's really struggled. Gogic has really struggled as well. So Kilmarnock will be able to try and get at those types of players. Maybe it's the surface, they can't quite move and turn as quickly as maybe on grass. Kyle Vassell's injury as well. I got sent a wee video of it. Looks really bad. He buckles under a push and his foot gets caught. I don't know if it's in the AstroTurf, and he kind of goes down in his ankle. So one of those ones where it swells up. Could be out for a good few weeks, Kyle Vassell, with that one. But still 1-0 Kilmarnock. But St Mirren looking a little bit better.
I just feel with St Mirren this season, Rory, they've just struggled to gain any real momentum. A couple of really good results, but they don't really kick on from that.
Yeah, I would agree. I think Kilmarnock are the same. They threaten to do it, and then all of a sudden, it goes a little bit wrong. I do think, as I said before, the league is stronger this year, I believe. Dundee United doing what they are doing, having replaced Livingston. No disrespect to Livingston, but Dundee United are sitting in 4th spot, so could go 3rd potentially today. So they've been a stronger outfit than Livingston were last year. So I think it's easier, it's easier to lose a game this season than it maybe was last season, and it's difficult to maybe maintain a run. So I think they've both been victims of that. I think Kilmarnock have threatened at times as well to look to go on a run, but this is the poorest, like I said, I've seen St Mirren in a long time. I cover them quite a lot, and
St Johnstone players looking for a red card here on Triantes. Bray Wright's got his head in his hands.
Right, we'll have a replay here.
Is it a challenge, Stephen?
Yeah, it's a challenge on Spangler.
My immediate thought was,
it didn't look
was
like
yellow. Yeah, I don't think there's much more in it than a yellow. Struggling to see what the protest would be in terms of a red, what they thought had happened, if it was similar, in terms of the height of the challenge, or don't know what the guys think. Tom, you've had a wee look at that as well there.
I'd need to have another look at it. It's one of those.
Off and running at Pittodrie.
Thanks, John.
You can't say for sure on this angle.
It didn't look much, I don't think.
No, I don't think there was much in it at all. Play resumed, Stephen.
Yeah, it's a corner for St Johnstone. More slack play from Hibs. I think they've got to get a striker on the pitch. They've got too many defenders behind the ball, and even then, the defenders have got on the pitch. They're moving the ball so slow, and they're making slack mistakes. They're giving St Johnstone a crowd encouragement here.
What options does he have, Stephen?
Dwight Gale's the obvious one.
Yeah.
The hero from Tynecastle, and if you're looking for a guy that's a natural born goal scorer, with the balls come into the box, and he's your man.
Yeah, St Johnstone corner there, half cleared by the Hibs defence. Let's get back to Tynecastle. Stuart Kettlewell ringing the changes here. Any improvement, Alan?
Not really, Kenny. Still no shots at goal for them. 3 changes. Hearts have dominated. Should be out of sight, if I'm being honest. I've hit the bar, and the boys, when I've seen it again, it's an absolute sitter that he's missed from about 3 yards. Say that's another great ball in from Spittle, just needing someone to get on the end of it. But while it's only 1-0, Hearts are still very fragile defensively, as we know. So Stuart Kettlewell will believe his men can get right back into this game. But we're now 62 minutes on the clock, still Hearts 1, Motherwell 0.
Overall, Alan, do you still have confidence that Neil Critchley is the man to take Hearts where they need to get to?
He's going to have to be given time.
Oh, 1-1. Flags up. Oh, it's that little movement we're talking about. He just peels off Robin Proper in between himself and Dujon Sterling. It's a great reverse pass from Bernardo, and he takes it lovely, just dinks it over the top of Liam Kelly. My initial thought was he was offside. I thought he got a little bit too early. But clearly the replays will.
I think you're right, Craig.
Half a yard, I would say.
Great control, wasn't it?
Great touch, great finish.
Brilliant goal, apart from the offside bit.
It's just his awareness. I know. It's just his awareness, though, to recognise where Liam Kelly is. Chest control, and then the cute finish.
That's 3 times in the opening 7 or 8 minutes of this half that he's got in between. That tells you Celtic are more dominant in the game. We did ask questions about could Rangers replicate their first half. They ran out of energy a little bit. They're not pressing as well. They're not winning the ball as much. And Celtic have just been slowly building up ahead of steam.
Do you know that famous Jose Mourinho meme where he celebrates and he goes raging off the bench? Remember that one?
Is that the one who goes back and talks to his assistant and then charges and gets a boy sent off?
It should be a red card.
Yes, it wasn't quite as extreme there, but Brendan Rodgers turned around, huge celebrations, his back to the park, and then his backroom team told him.
Yeah. Martin Boyle 1-1.
Right,
brilliant
Stephen.
Ball, and that man Nicky Cadden again. I thought it's offside. Martin Boyle didn't look offside. I wonder if it's Junior Hoylett that's went for it. He looked offside. Martin Boyle didn't, but it's an unbelievable ball from Nicky Cadden. It's one of those come and score me balls.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be very surprised if it was Boyle that was offside, because he's in the opposite side of the pitch.
Yeah, look like that, Leah.
It would be criminal because he's looking right across the line, but maybe you're right, maybe somebody in that more central area.
What a delivery.
Motion
Hoylett
towards.
looked offside.
Yeah. But does he make a clear motion towards the ball?
He definitely tries to get a toe, because I thought.
Right, okay.
Yeah, having a look at it now.
Right, here we are, Leanne.
Look at it.
It's not a great.
Yeah, Hoylett's definitely off. Martin Boyle's definitely not, I would say.
So do you think he did enough in terms of going towards the ball here?
I think he did.
Yeah.
He stuck his leg out.
He tries to stretch for it for sure.
A chance for Duke. Oh no, it's hit the underside of the bar.
Offside at McDermott Park, no goal.
Thanks, Stephen. Robbo. Just seen it now, Robbo. That was some effort.
Yeah, but it was a great break from Aberdeen there, and they've still got the ball in the box. Duke went through, he smashes it past Asimwa, but it's hit the underside of the bar and come out. It's a strong start to set up Aberdeen. The ball across goals. Still 1-1.
Leander's Gogic catch, I'm not quite sure who it is. He's just been booked Gogic for an elbow, and he looks like he catches a Kilmarnock player who's still down at the moment. Might be Fraser Murray, I'm not 100% sure, but if that does get looked at, potential red card, because obviously we can't Look at yellow cards, but it looked bad.
My first instinct would be that it's not a red card. If anything, it would be a second yellow for Gogic, which I was surprised, Rory, because I think did he not give the penalty away?
Yes, he did. It was a poor pass initially.
And I was surprised he hadn't been booked for that. And then I seen the challenge. Obviously, I think he went up and led with the arm and received a yellow card.
Penalty, and it's Alex Gogic again, Leanne. It's unbelievable. I can't quite see who it is. It's ran directly into him. I think it looks harsh. I might be wrong, but he can't disappear. Maybe it is a penalty. He'll be able to help me out, but he's pointed to the spot. He's given the penalty, and now he's going back to talk to Fraser Murray about that incident earlier.
It's going to be interesting if Gogic survives this. I don't know how many almost fouls you can look at as a referee.
He's going to need to take him off if he does survive this.
Surely Robinson. He's not going to survive this.
You wouldn't have thought so.
If this is an actual penalty in terms of the contact, I'm going to wait for a replay. The one in Murray, if it's not an elbow, for me it's a block. You know, he's almost gone in and he's just blocked the run, which is pretty cynical.
I'm not sure Gogic looks innocent there, I have to say. He's not convincing.
He's not going to book him. He's going to stay on the pitch.
Right.
Even Gogic is doing his best because he keeps going back to Colin Stephen to complain about it. If I was a teammate, I would tell him to get away.
Even when he's innocent, he doesn't look innocent.
I think it's a penalty.
It's a penalty.
I think so. I mean,
not a lot in it, but there's enough, isn't there?
His body across. Nah, it's a penalty.
He's not trying to play the ball, is he?
No, he's got no intention to play the ball. But for me, it's really surprising that he's not.
It's a penalty. It's definitely penalty,
right?
Yeah, I think so. Right. Steps into him, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Bruce Anderson again is going to step up. Obviously, he's missed the first one, but followed up and saved it. So it'll be interesting to see where his confidence is at with this next one.
Right. Does he go the same way, Rory? What do you think? What would you do?
I think he's going to blast it down the middle.
Right. Okay. Let's see. Here we go.
We shall see. Colin Stephen just doing his due diligence, getting the players out the box and around.
Big moment.
He's blowing the whistle. Bruce Anderson takes a deep breath, takes his step up. Goal! Blasts it down the middle. 2-0 Kilmarnock.
Be a goalie, Rory.
Yeah, you called. I was just waiting for the it's a bit behind in here in the studio. The pictures. Here we go. Yeah, absolutely.
You'll see there's a free kick at Tynecastle for Motherwell. They've had an effort over the top of the crossbar. It's going to be Andy Halliday or Sam Nicholson. Both former Hearts players. It's set up for Halliday. There's a 4-man wall. You're talking this is about 23, 24 yards out. Chance for Halliday with the first effort to go. Craig Gordon saves. Still 1-0 to Hearts, 68 minutes in the clock.
Yeah, just seen the pictures coming in there. Big celebrations from Bruce Anderson. He's done really well, you'd have to say, for Derek McInnes. I know he really likes him. What's happening at Ibrox? Stephen Craigan.
Well, the opening 10-12 minutes of the first half was all Celtic. Clearly there was going to be a reaction from Brendan Rodgers' half-time team talk, but the last 3 or 4 minutes Rangers have managed to get hold of the ball again. They're the team in the ascendancy, trying to get chances. Kasper Schmeichel a punch cross kind of save. Someone had a shot, took a deflection, he dived out of his box and cleared it, but it's Rangers now in the ascendancy and trying to build attacks.
It looks like wave after wave of Hibs attack in McDermott Park. Stephen?
Yeah, another half chance here. Josh Ray not convincing. It's bouncing about the box. They made a triple sub. Hibs, Levitt, Galen, Obita came on for Miller, Iredale and Kwon, and they change of shape. They look really threatening now. It just cleared. St Johnstone just doing enough to hang in.
Stephen, have Rangers picked it up again after a little lull at the start of the second half?
Yeah, they have.
Yeah.
They've won the ball a little bit better. I mean, we were talking about Yanis Hadji a little bit earlier on, but he's been a bit ridiculous at times. He's shooting from weird angles. He's trying to shoot when he should be crossing it. He's trying to play a 60-yard switch of play. I know he's excitable and his dad's here to watch him and he's got the goal, but sometimes when the game's going against you, you have to be calm. Journeys through one-on-one down the right-hand side on his left foot. Journey! Oh, he's hit the inside of the post.
Wow.
I thought it was going in.
So did I.
Hit the inside of the post and then nestle in the net, but it could roll back along the line. That's a huge let-off for Celtic. One pass from Diamande cut Celtic open.
Yeah, it's a huge let-off, right enough, Craigs. I just wonder he might have been marginally offside.
Oh, brilliant save.
But it was such a tight...
fans are looking for a penalty. But what a save this is from Nibbit.
Yeah, I've seen it there, Robbo. Just get back to Ibrox. It was a really tight angle, Craigs. I was surprised that Tierney managed to just keep it almost inside the post. But I do think he was just offside. Hard to say with the pictures that I got, but it just looked like he'd gone a bit early.
Kenny, Alex Gogic has been removed.
You're
from
joking,
the pitch.
Rory. No way. No.
Yeah, before the kick-off, he made a double sub. The new signing, Owen Oseni's come on as well, so looking forward to seeing him, as will the St Mirren fans be, see what he can do. Olasanya stayed on the pitch, so he'll go up front with him. Johnny Ungo was taken off as well, and it was Elvis Bomono who come on as well. So St Mirren ringing the changes. Kilmarnock going to make a couple of their own, and Bruce Anderson on a hat-trick. We've not had one for a long time, season and a half, so let's see if Bruce Anderson could be the first to do it.
Yeah, he could be the man. I love watching the managers, the agony there for Philippe Clement. He thought it was in, he thought it was in.
Whether it was offside or not, we'll figure that out eventually, but it was great play from Diamande, great through ball, Cherney, tight angle. He was so close.
He was really
close. So
but
close.
Those are the moments that you're speaking about, Tom, that
Exactly.
Rangers really do need a second goal if they're to look to take 3 points today.
That looked a fairly blatant one there, Stephen.
Yeah. See the two Rangers fullbacks today, Jefty and Yilmaz, they've been absolutely outstanding.
Yeah,
because all we've spoken about for week after week is Maida and Kuhn and Maida. Honestly, they have not got a chance or a sniff this afternoon, and that's Nicholas Kuhn's just been booked because Jefty took the ball off him, drove away from him, and he had to haul him down. So it's roles reversed.
Was that a wee something happening somewhere? A wee chuckle there?
Tynecastle again, Penrice again, brilliant play. He's at the byline. 3 Hearts players in the box, he can't pick any of them up. They'll all make the run to the near post. One's got to pull out for the cut back, he cuts it back, no one there.
Brendan Rodgers about to make the changes there.
Yeah, he's had enough. It looks like it's going to be Adam Ida, and he's going to make 3 subs. I'd imagine one of them will be Arnie Engels as well. Arnie Engels, Luke McCowan and Adam Ida. So certainly something needed to happen, because although they had a bright start to the second half, they're kind of falling out of it again.
Just thinking, Kenny, you mentioned Stuart Kettlewell in his post-match interview. I mean, Derek McInnes, he said the ones that have bothered him this season, obviously they've had 8 red cards in the league, and they've had quite a few of these kind of double yellow cards for quite innocuous instances. So it'll be very interesting to see. He might be in a good mood given they're 2-0 up, but it'll be very interesting to see his take on Gogic, because Gogic should not be on the pitch. Should have been
Derek?
Yeah, he'll have something to say. Don't worry about that. Yeah, don't worry about that. But as Rory said, he'll be absolutely delighted with the performance so far from his side, cruising at home to a very poor St Mirren team this afternoon. What's happening at Pittodrie, the home side, giving it a right go, John?
Yeah, they saw Aberdeen the second half. They've had a couple of chances already, as I said. Nisbet's shot was well saved, and we've had Duke hit the underside of the crossbar. They're piling forward now here. But the fans, it's funny because they were never in it first half, and the fans were quite quiet. Second half, they're all over Ross County, but the fans are starting to get annoyed now. They're starting to get upset. They just seem to take that extra touch, just that delaying that extra second that they weren't doing earlier in the season, but they're certainly turned it around. They're on top at the moment, but we're 56 minutes in, it's still 1-1.
Yeah, it's going to be a late finish here. A reminder, 5:30 start at Dens Park, the Dundee Derby. Full coverage to come on Sports, and stay with us. We're on right through until 8 o'clock on BBC Radio Scotland this evening. Let's get back to the game at McDermott Park. I mean, David Gray's got to be hugely disappointed, Stephen, the way things are going in this game.
Yeah, they're not moving the ball quick enough. They're letting St Johnstone get into their shape. They're double sub for St Johnstone. Smith and Keltgens come on for Franchik and Sidibe, who has been outstanding for St Johnstone in the second half. I was quite surprised to see him go off. He's held the ball up so well, and he's gotten St Johnstone up the park. So I think Rocky Bashiri will be delighted to see the back of him.
And here come the changes at Ibrox, Stephen.
Yeah, Kyogo's coming off, Greg Taylor's coming off, and Bernardo's coming off. It will be Bailly, it will be Luke McCowan and Arameda. So Brendan Rodgers clearly not happy. He's left it to 63, almost 64 minutes, and it's now up to those 3 players coming onto the pitch to really try and drive Celtic back into this game.
Tell you what a good player Boyce is. When he gets game time, just his injuries, as I've touched on, really good take there onto his left foot and a shot across the keeper. He looks absolutely knackered.
He's clever, Alan, isn't he? He's a clever footballer.
He is. And as I keep saying it, Kenny, it's brilliant for young Wilson to learn off someone like him, and Lauren Shankland when he's on.
Yeah, Hearts doing the business at home to Motherwell this afternoon, but they'll be looking to get another goal to seal that one. The goal coming after just 7 minutes. Musa Drama with that one on 7. Aberdeen 1, Ross County 1, Kilmarnock 2, St Mirren 0, Rangers 1, Celtic 0, and St Johnstone 10-man St Johnstone 1-0 up at home to Hibs. You would expect them to come under serious pressure.
This is unbelievable. I mean, I don't know who these guys in the green and white jerseys are, but
yeah, Tom's watching the game at Ibrox. Clearly, Celtic dispossessed again.
Overrun. They are giving them up, but they're getting hustled and harried off the ball.
Good chance
by these Rangers guys. And
Czerny's looked good, hasn't he?
Czerny's looked. It's a good chance, Stephen, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's down that right hand side, and you always know he's going to jump back onto his left foot. But Bai actually shows him onto his left foot, comes in, goes, actually very similar to the Hadji goal, goes for the near post, but Schmeichel tips it round the post.
Goal, Ross County! That's the first attack, the second half. Chilvers has gone down the left-hand side. If I'm being honest, I think it was a cross, but it's floated well behind Doohan.
Goal for Rangers, 2-0! It's Robin Proper, corner for the right-hand side. Celtic don't clear. I think it's Raskan gets the header, cleared off the line, and in comes Robin Proper, slams it home with his left foot. It's Rangers 2, Celtic 0.
I mean, Robin Proper, the Rangers hero. Did you ever think these words would be uttered?
This is
it's surreal, isn't it?
It is surreal. I think Rangers have been absolutely excellent.
Yeah.
And in one word, hunger, quality, and all the rest of it. But this is a hungry Rangers performance. And they're eating Celtic alive here. It's only 2-0, but it could be 3 and 4.
That's exactly it, Tom. You look at Nico Raskin, his desire to go and get that first contact. He's been tracked by Daisen Maeda, who loses a run. Liam Scales is in there as well as a free agent. Neither of them get to the ball before Raskan. He forces the problem. And Robin Proper, as you say, Kenny, who would have thought that he would be the man to prop up for Rangers and grab that second.
Well, he was the one player, Leanne, they thought that would be an issue for Rangers this afternoon, because he struggled against St Mirren at times with the pace with Olasanya. He struggled against Motherwell in the first half. He hasn't been exploited really this afternoon because Celtic haven't been up the pitch enough or been close enough to him to go and try and hurt him. But you're right, Raskan, he's 5'5" or 5'6". He's thrown himself in the box when that cross comes in. Brendan Rodgers will be hugely disappointed with that goal that they conceded, but on the balance of play up to this stage at 67 minutes, Rangers deserve to be a couple of goals ahead.
It's interesting as well, Craigs, with Raskan, because he has performance-wise certainly been much better this season than he had been previously. He's almost grown into his Rangers jersey. Today he's got the armband on in the absence of James Tavernier, and he's looked to me like he's just got that little bit of an edge, even just that bit. I think before half time we've talked about it, he's trying to get in the head of Callum McGregor and look to try and just cause a bit of a stir, perhaps get the Rangers fans just a little bit more on side, but he looks as if he's certainly embraced the challenge this afternoon.
Plus he's a young man. Was he 22, 23
he's very
years
young.
of age?
Yeah, very
he's
young.
Still got a lot of growth to go. And when you're coming into the Rangers team and playing against Celtic in the last couple of years, and Callum McGregor's playing and Hatati's on the game, it's very difficult to ruffle them up and get close to them. So you're right, he's grown into the role. There was something a few weeks ago we spoke about having a dietitian, changing his diet, changing how he lives and how he thinks, and it's certainly paying off.
I have to say, when Pat Bonner said pre-match he thought it would be a very tight game at Ibrox, I was thinking, really, I'm not so sure about that. I expected Celtic
I thought it was going to be tight, but that Celtic would win.
Yeah.
I did not.
Rangers good value.
Totally good value for 2-0. I think it should be more. Their dominance in this game has been almost complete. Celtic have been awful. Celtic have been dreadful.
The problem for Rangers is, though, and it won't change from the conversation at the top of the show, Rangers' problem has not been Celtic. Rangers' problem has been their inconsistency levels against all the other teams in the league.
Yeah, and perhaps you'll look back and rue some of these team decisions that he made, some of these changes that he made in these games.
I think too much is made of that.
Do you think so?
I do, yeah.
Look at Raskin today. Look at the job Raskin's doing, and against St Mirren, which they knew would be tough, Tom.
I said it before. Raskin has played in Rangers teams that have folded against inferior opposition.
He was an informed player. You don't take your informed players out of the team just to rest them and look to other games. Not when you're in the trenches as an old firm manager.
As an informed player, he has lost games and drawn games for Rangers. He has. They all have. Danilo has.
But that's when he makes all the other changes
as well,
Tom. I just don't think you can ever justify dropping. The other players you can probably debate, were they in form, the changes that he made, but Raskan at the point he came out the team was in form individually.
Yeah, Yilmaz now has a shot from about 30 yards and it moves in the air, and Kasper Schmeichel has to put it out for a corner.
Yeah, Rangers pressing there. What's happening at Pittodrie? County scoring very much against the run of play there, John.
Very much so. As I said, it was all Aberdeen second half, and they broke away down the left-hand side. Chilvers cut in. Jordan White made a great run towards the near post. I think he's trying to pick out Jordan White, but the ball just floated right towards the back post. I've absolutely no doubt he'll say he meant it. It's curled right in to the top left-hand corner. Ross Dewins had no chance. County are ahead very much against the run of play.
Claims for a handball at Ibrox as well.
The half, they should be ahead anyway.
Robbo, definitely was a cross for me.
Yeah,
I've seen it back. I think it was Brown that was coming in at the back post.
Yeah, Brown was coming in back. I think he's seen Jordan White making the run there. He's thought, I'll try and pick him out, but he's got elevation on it. And it's whipped right in towards the back post. It's just floated below Ross Dewin. But I say, it's a shock to the Aberdeen fans, because Aberdeen were in total control of the second half, albeit Ross County can feel very hard done by not to come in at least 2 goals ahead at half time. So God knows what, we've still got, it's only 64 minutes gone. There's still a long way to go in this game. But I tell you what, it's a real test of character now, because the Pittodrie faithful are starting to howl their anger at this team now.
Yeah, there was absolutely nothing at all in that penalty shout at Ibrox, but Rangers still pressing there. Let's get back to McDermott Park. Hibs not managing so far, Stephen, to find that breakthrough.
No, they're letting this game drift. They're playing far too slow. Everything's just going in front of St Johnstone, and they've got a 1-goal lead. It's easy for them to just shuffle across and try and block crosses, and they really aren't testing the goalkeeper enough.
And Hearts looking fairly comfortable at Tynecastle, Alan.
Motherwell have got better, Ken, in the second half. 2 shots, 2 efforts at goal, 1 on target so far. Hearts have had more, but they've rang the changes both sides. Stuart Kettlewell's used his 5 subs now. Hearts taking off their front 2, Boyce and Wilson. But in game to try and shore it up a little bit, and Vargas has come on, who has not been the same player since he had made his great speech in Costa Rica. He's been rotten.
Chance,
Yes, Robert.
Header from McDonald there. They're claiming handball, but it's not. It's just hit again. Corner came in, and it was a short corner, flicked in, and then Big McDonald's got there, glanced a header towards Amassa's left-hand side. He's clawed it away. Still 2-1 Ross County.
Yeah, could be another short scoreline in the cards for Aberdeen. They've really been struggling of late. Let's get to a fairly comfortable-looking home win is in the cards at Rugby Park, Rory.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen enough late drama this season with 10 minutes to go. St Mirren, you'd think they were capable of trying to get back in this, but Kilmarnock are exactly what you just say there, Kenny, very comfortable. Defensively, St Mirren have been awful. They really have, and you don't often say that. Innes Cameron's come on as a substitute. He's just jumped and flicked one on and had time to run round Iacovitti and get on the end of his own flick on before either Iacovitti reacts or the other centre-back comes across and covers. So, yeah, they've been 6s and 7s at the back, St Mirren, today. They really have. Iakovitti's really struggled. I think Vassell ruffled his feathers early doors, and Bruce Anderson's running in behind was really strong as well. McGuinness has been good since he's come on. 2-0, definitely a fair reflection of how the games went so far.
It's going to be interesting, Tom, to hear Brendan Rodgers post-match if things stay as they are at Ibis, because they have been fantastic. They've been blowing everyone away domestically, big improvements in Europe as well, but very much second best today.
Yeah, I mean, it's totally outplayed, outfought, outgunned in every department, and it's quite shocking. I mean, I'm amazed. I'm amazed at this Rangers performance. I look at these Rangers players, and I see some guys playing today wonderfully well. Raskin, who was really, it was really poor against in the last day against Motherwell.
Tom, what's your thoughts on the fact that Clermont wins this game 2-0 going into January? Obviously, I don't think on the back of this he's going to leave his post.
No.
Do you give him, obviously I know there's not a great deal of money available, but do you give him then the power to go and make the signings and do the things you want to do when he is always teetering so close to the edge of the sack?
I think you have to, Rory. I mean, I think the board were just desperate for Clermont to make a case to stay, and he's making it today. They're desperate because they don't want to go down the road of the old rinse and repeat thing. It's going to cost them a fortune. It's going to be massive upheaval in the club. They were just crying out for something to believe in as regards Clermont, and he's given it to them today. So I think whatever money.
Go for Hibs.
All right.
Go.
It seemed to be out of nothing. I wonder if it's onside.
Pictures are a bit behind here. I mean, you said he was the man that could make the difference here today,
as
Stephen.
I said, absolutely nothing was happening in the game. Someone's just helped it over the St Johnstone defence, and I think he might be onside because he seemed to come from nowhere behind bodies.
Yeah, I think he's on.
It's a brilliant finish, and absolute, as I said, natural born goal scorer.
Yep.
And this game was drifting, And it's such a big goal for Dave Gray.
Yeah, Steve McGinn called that when the pictures are a bit behind here in the studio. We've got all the games coming in, so Liam, we're just waiting for a replay here. The game, as always, is getting checked. That
They're
goal.
having a look at it, yeah.
Yeah, they're having a wee look at that now.
Yeah, we've not had another replay, but I would agree with Stephen. I think it looks like it's come from nothing. It's just a ball turned over. We're going to get a better look at it, I think. Just
goal given.
Here, yeah, plays building up down that right hand side just as it came back out. St Johnstone are probably a bit slow.
That's a brilliant, a great reaction, isn't it?
There's a player in the left kind of full-back area for St Johnstone that's much deeper than even the players, I'm not too sure who it was, much deeper than the cluster of bodies that's centrally. Let me just double check, was it number 22 possibly?
I mean, that's a clever finish, that. Outside it, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Look at this here.
Yeah, I think it was
in the corner.
Matt Smith that's played Dwight Gale on. Yeah, good goal from Hibs. Just switched on, alert. Simple stuff, just turn the ball over.
Yeah, and time now.
Bodies are in there, put it back into the mixer.
Time now to kick on and get the winner.
Yeah, absolutely. Rory did suggest that there might be a bit of late drama. I don't know if it'll be at his game, but it might be somewhere.
And Hearts are very, very fragile with 5 minutes to go. They're defending deeper and deeper and deeper, and that just invites pressure on the top of you. They can't get out. Motherwell have had a corner, and it's just a simple ball through the top here, and they could be in. Hearts have cleared it, managed to clear it.
So
it was through.
Aberdeen 1, Ross County 2, around about 20 minutes or so still to play in that game. Hearts 1, Motherwell 0, Kilmarnock 2, St Mirren 0, Rangers 2, Celtic 0, St Johnstone 1, Hibs 1, 5:30 start. Dundee at home to Dundee United. Yeah, Rory, what are you telling us?
Here's a chance for Grant to finish it. Oh, it's a poor effort. He side foots it. It's good play by Vargas. He rolls it straight to Grant. He's 16, 17 yards out. Smash it. He hits it. The inside of his foot. Really weak.
Yeah, absolutely, Alan. Well called there by Alan Preston. Hibs piling on the pressure. We can see the pictures coming in here now. Can St Johnstone hold on for a precious point? Remember, they were down to 10 men in the first half, but they were awarded a penalty. Dreadful defending from Bashiri and a wonderful penalty from Nicky Clark. But Dwight Gale has drawn David Gray's side level. Can they go on now and get the win? What about Celtic? Anything at all from them at Ibrox, Stephen?
No, not really, Kenny, but they need some sort of inspiration because the game's just drifting away. Yes, they're having a little bit of the ball and they're putting balls in the box, but there's no real quality to the final thing they're doing with the ball, which is really unlike them. And I know you were asking Tom what Brendan will be like after. He won't be too critical because his team have been terrific this season. Likewise, Philip Clement can't get carried away if Rangers do win because it's only one win at all. But just a breakaway, Egerman just tries to play in Barami and he's a little bit light on it. But yeah, Celtic will be hugely disappointed with what they've done so far. They need someone to step up to give them a lifeline and bring them back into the game.
What have you got on the clock there, Craigs?
We are just over 77 minutes gone.
Oh, a chance again, Vargas! He's got to get something on it once again. It's a brilliant ball from Penrice. Flashes it across. Vargas makes a possible run. He gets nothing on it. Any flick, it's in the back of the net.
Right, where was the other chance there?
It was at Hibs. It was a brilliant play from Hibs, and actually it's bouncing off bodies. I'm not even sure how to describe that.
Look at that scene there. There's three players on the deck with their head in their hands there. So, I mean, here we are here. So it's a good save, actually, I think, initially. Hibs players falling up. Here we see it here.
And Jack Sanders are both on the floor getting treatment. They're putting their bodies on the line to keep it 1-1, but
I think the keeper did well there. Yeah. I think he was quite brave, maybe getting just down low.
Yeah, I can see McCurdy. I don't know what he's claiming for. But anyway, Craigs, all I was going to say was it's interesting that the sports science goes out the window when you're winning 2-0 at Ibrox, because would I be right in saying that Rangers have not made one single substitution?
No, I have to say, Vaclav Černý looks really, really tired. So
I'm looking at players literally towing caravans now at Ibrox, and there's still not been I wonder what the sports science are saying about it.
I think he's been sacked after the other day.
Maybe get Christmas and New Year off.
Ryan Leake's gone down with nobody near him. Looks like he might have done his Achilles or his ankle, so he's over. So this could be another major
Is that
delay.
A challenge, Robbo?
No, he's running across the cover and just out, because we've got the replays here, and he's just went down in a heap. His left ankle seemed to buckle, so this is not a good sign for him. So Aberdeen have made one change. Shane Morris has come on for McGrath as he's trying to push forward, but this won't take County are starting to get a grip of the game again here. But they still lead 2-1, but this doesn't look good for Ryan Leake.
St Johnstone not happy. Lloyd Wilson sent the best header of the ball, Jack Sanders, off because he got treatment, so they're down to 9 players defending this corner against Hibs. Hibs have to make advantage of the height they've got here.
Yes, give it a big moment.
Clearly, it's because of the sports science that Rangers are playing this.
Well, maybe.
This way.
Cue the substitutions after that comment.
The sports scientist is taking off Barami and bringing on Danilo.
There we go.
Rob, I'm interested in the reaction from the home fans here, because it's a hard one, isn't it? They've had a terrific start to the season. They're still third in the table, albeit that Dundee United are closing in on them, but they're on a dreadful run of form. How are they taking it today?
As I said, first half they were very patient. Give credit where credit's due. They were very patient, even though they were behind. And by the way, distinctly second best in the first half. They got the equaliser, obviously, 10 minutes into overtime, and they had a chance to go ahead. Second half, they've come out really well. They've hit the bar, a couple of good saves from the keeper. They've lost a goal against their on a play, but the fans are starting to turn now. There's no doubt about it. They're starting to get upset. Too many touches. You know, Nicky Devlin's been outstanding start to the season, epitomised Aberdeen. He's taken the extra touch. Duke's overrunning it, Niskanen's overrunning it. They seem very shot shy to a certain degree as well, round about the box, are taking that extra touch. So they brought Shayden Morris on. He was a real good impact sub earlier on in the season, so maybe he can make the difference, but it's a bad one for Ryan Leake. He's getting help down there. I'm surprised there's not.
You're going to say that there's not a stretcher?
There's not a stretcher, which I cannot believe it, because
and
it
Kyle
looks like he's done his
Vassell
Achilles.
earlier on, I'm sure as well, when he left the pitch, was just supported by bodies either side of him.
In fairness to the St John's or whoever it is who provided it, when an Aberdeen player went down first half, they were ready to come on and get him. They were away. They're down the bottom corner at the big stand at the beach end. I can still see the stretcher there. There's no.
Wow. First touch. It's got to be his first touch.
It's Danilo, but we talk about Rangers anticipating the pass into forward players. The ball's rolled in to Luke McCowan around the halfway line. He intercepts it, he travels 30, 40, 50 yards, has the shot on the cross, deflects off Cameron Carter-Vickers, and there's Danilo left with it to slam it home. 3-0 Rangers.
Huge result there for Rangers against Celtic. A big chance for Hibs. Stephen.
Yeah, it was Josh Campbell who's just about to be replaced by Milotkinov. It was that man Nicky Cadden again, brilliant wing play. He's just hung it up, and Josh Campbell with a brilliant leap, similar to his jump at Tynecastle, and he gets a really good connection, but just hits the top of the bar, and really good play from Hibs, and unlucky Josh Campbell not to get the winner.
That's a sharp finish from Danilo, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a good finish. He just tracks the play, gets a little bit of luck clearly with the deflection, the block shot from that comes off Carter-Vickers, but he's there, he's in the right place, he's in between the sticks. You always give yourself a good chance of scoring if you pick up the right area, and what a brilliant chance for Hibs. Certainly that Campbell chance, and the save was very, very good, Stephen.
Yeah, it was. I thought trying to come to
I know, either one.
I mean, once again, you're talking about. We spoke about it in the first half, Tom. You mentioned it. Rangers players have been like a rash. They've been harassing the Celtic players when their balls played into them straight or it's played into them square. And Jeffy, I said it earlier on again, Jeffy and Yilmaz have been absolutely sensational as fullbacks this afternoon.
Yeah, chance.
O'Donnell for Motherwell comes across it. Tries to go for the far corner, hits it wide. It's been desperations for Motherwell. They're pushing bodies up. They've got a front four now. But we're into 4 added on minutes, of which we've got 2 left. It's still Hearts 1, Motherwell 0.
I tell you what I saw there, Tom, a close-up of Casper Schmeichel going nuts.
Duke has been booked for diving. He's adamant he hasn't done it, so this is going to be checked, obviously. Shinnie, as you can imagine, is right round the referee. It'll be interesting. We'll get replays here as well, but David Dickinson was adamant, 100% adamant. Here we go, we're going to get a really good close-up look.
I mean, I'll be astonished if he's.
I can't see him.
What a save that is from Craig Gordon!
I think there's contact as well.
Unbelievable
We'll
save.
come back
He's
to
got
Alan.
across him. He's done what he's done.
I think it's Moses is through.
That is a good save.
Incredible. What a save that
I'll tell
is.
you what, this is a tight one. It's going to.
Robbo, are you giving that?
No.
There's contact.
I don't know if there's enough, is there?
That's not a dive.
That
is not a dive.
He gets across him, and I think there's contact, but whether
He
the contact's
catches his
in or
heel.
out the box.
That's not a dive.
No, it's not a dive, but you think there's enough contact there for a penalty?
Possibly, he's wrong side him. Catches
We're
his
waiting
heel.
to see.
He's about to take a
We're still
stride.
checking it.
We're not here to say how much contact
What a
there is.
save
There's
again from
contact.
Craig Gordon!
Yes,
So
Alan.
I'm getting another view now, Leanne.
Knock it back, and I think it's
I'm not
Tony
sure,
Watt.
honestly.
Or
That
is it
is a
Casey? I can't
brilliant
see it in the
save.
far end. Casey,
Yeah,
I
there's
think.
The contact is probably
Brilliant
just outside
save.
the box for me.
There's a camera right behind the goals. I don't know if you've got that angle from them, but right behind the goals, it's a real close-up look, and I'm not seeing a great deal of contact there.
Do you know what, Alan, just very quickly, that is an outstanding... See the celebrations there with his teammates from Craig Gordon.
He's still got to defend this corner, Kenny. We're into the last 30 seconds of this.
Big save from Gordon.
It's not away
after
yet.
that terrible
Dander.
mistake in Dingwall.
Kick it away, Dander. What are you doing, man?
I saw a lot of Hearts fans calling for a change of goalkeeper, Alan, but my goodness, they'll be reviewing that after today's performance in Craig Gordon. 2 big saves in the space of a couple of minutes.
No, he's not giving it. It's play on. I said I didn't think that was enough.
I don't think the contact was inside the area, Robbo. I think he's just outside. So
possibly, but even then,
VAR can't get involved.
No, but that's what I'm saying. So we're playing on here. We're 78 minutes in, plus there will be more stoppage time because there's been that bad injury to
time
Lee.
at Tynecastle. Hearts 1, Motherwell 0. Deserve win. Motherwell put the pressure on late on. Craig Gordon, 2 brilliant saves in the last minute.
Yeah, have a look at these saves on Sports. And there's actually quite a lot to look at. You know, a very good performance from Rangers. That fantastic goal by Akil Wright for St Johnstone. A controversial decision there. Took a long time for VAR to make that call on Duke at Pittodrie. Aberdeen struggling once again. Kilmarnock very comfortable this afternoon. Hibs pressing for that winner. 1-1 away to 10-man St Johnstone. So Aberdeen 1, Ross County 2, as Robo said, around about 10 minutes to play in that one. Full time, Hearts 1, Motherwell 0. Drama with a goal
6
there
added at
after
McDermott
7
Park.
minutes. Thanks to Stephen there. So 1-1 at McDermott Park. 10-man St Johnstone. Dwight Gale with equaliser there, but still time for a winner. Rangers cruising an incredible performance at home to Celtic this afternoon. 3-0. Kilmarnock also, Rory, they have fully deserved what they're going to take the points here this afternoon.
Yeah, I don't want to concentrate too much on St Mirren because they've been quite woeful actually. But Kilmarnock have been very good. They've ran hard, they've fought hard. Lacked a little bit of quality at times. Probably should have scored a couple more goals. Not through clear-cut chances, but bad decision making in the final third. They've got the ball in the corner. They've got a corner kick. And they're going to see this one out because there's 3 minutes added on. We're already over that. I'll update you at full time, but Kilmarnock are going to win this.
Yeah, there's going to be some celebration in the full-time whistle.
Kenny, 2-0 Kilmarnock.
Good stuff. There's going to be some celebration in the full-time whistle at Ibrox. Stephen Craigan.
Kenny, there is, but let's keep this in context. Rangers will still be 11 points behind Celtic in the 2-horse title race. So as much as it's a good day and the players have shown what they're capable of, consistency is their massive problem that they're going to have moving forward. They've shown what they can play like, they can show how they can press and how they can create chances, and they can show the energy, but they have to do it again and again and again, and they have to go on a run of 10, 12, 14, 16 games to try and convince people that they're good enough to play for Rangers. On one-off games, yes they can, but over a sustained period, they have to show they can do it.
Dujon Sterling, a centre-half for you, Stephen. I know he can play in a variety of positions.
I have to say, he's cruised through the game this afternoon. I've hardly even mentioned him. I always say that's a sign of a decent centre-half because you're not talking about them. You're normally talking about centre-halves when they're making mistakes or they're getting caught in possession. But him and Robin Proper this afternoon have been excellent. They managed Kyogo, okay, didn't get the service, and they've now managed Aramida, who really hasn't had any influence in the game. So, yes, he's probably a right back, but he can slot in the centre-half, and if he performs like that, then there's no reason why not.
What's happened there?
What's happened there?
Guys, we're getting pictures with a Celtic player on the...
Someone's on the ground.
Yeah.
One of the officials seems to have bent down to pick something up off the ground.
Engels, perhaps.
I hope nothing's been thrown from...
I think it's Engels.
If someone has thrown something, a complete idiocy, because your team's winning 3-0, there's no threat to the game, you want to involve yourself onto the pitch and throw things on. Completely unacceptable.
I can see the assistant referee kind of showing something to the ref. We might get...
Look McCowan was right over there. Heavy protestations there from the Celtic midfielders. Arne Engel just speaking with the referee. He looks to be good to continue. We're just waiting for a replay to see
Don
what
Robertson's now coming across. I'm guessing he's going to give Matthew McDermott, the fourth official, something that has been thrown. Yeah. An object has been thrown from the stand because he's now going to give it to Matthew McDermott. So needless, senseless scenes. Why would you do that? One person is going to spoil a good afternoon for your team.
Coin.
There's a couple of coins actually.
Yeah, look at some coins.
Other hand.
And it looks like he's maybe got a wee cut just above his eye. Arne Engels, absolutely disgraceful scenes there. The police down there as well.
So we had a bottle of vodka thrown last week. We now have coins. And here's a player by the looks of it.
Yes, actually, it's interesting. They've just put it in an evidence bag there.
Their team is 3-0 up, playing one of the best performances of the season, and some moron throws a coin at a player.
And evidence it right away. Identify them. Get them out. Never be back at another football game.
Let's hope they can. And similar to what Hearts did, wasn't it, in the derby? They got someone racially abusing one of the Hibs players, got him out at half time.
Yeah.
Got to. Terrible scenes there. Thankfully, Ernie Ingles is back up and he is playing, but the police took a wee evidence bag to look at a couple of pound coins that were thrown from the corner over there where the away fans are actually usually situated at Ibrox. Still playing at McDermott Park. A late chance for Hibs, Stephen.
Yeah, for 4 minutes into 6 minutes added on. Hibs, they've never really got going in the second half. They're just throwing balls into the box. St Johnstone played with a real spirit, and it's been the brilliance of Dwight Gale that's kept it one each, but Hibs still committing loads of bodies and throwing them into the box.
And still Aberdeen looking for that equaliser at Pittodrie. John, a few minutes to go.
There's only 83 minutes in here and they don't really look like getting it, if I'm being honest. County are really working hard, as you can imagine. No. Aberdeen are trying everything in terms of getting the ball forward, but they're not creating anything. They've not, since, I'll go back to it, Duke hit the crossbar after 40, and then Nisbet had a great header saved. That's been about it, really. There was another McDonald header that was clawed away, but they've not really opened them up. The fans are cracking up now to say they're taking too many touches, Aberdeen. Everything is laboured. County are just getting bodies behind. And one thing about Ross County is they're a massive side. They're a huge, huge team, and Aberdeen are throwing bodies into the box. They're just heading it out, and then they're winning all the second balls. They've brought on Allardyce and Hale. They've left Hale up front on his own. Aberdeen have just made a triple substitution with Ambrose up. Nicky Devlin's pushed up now. They're throwing bodies forward, Aberdeen, but don't really look like equalising. But we've still got 6 minutes plus. I'd imagine again at least another 5 minutes of stoppage time. So there still could be 10 minutes to go here at Pittodrie. But County are holding strong, and you've got to say, over the piece, they probably deserve it.
Yeah, that would move them up to 10th in the table, 22 points. Hearts 20. St Johnstone, as things stand, they're still playing at McDermott Park, 15 points.
Oh my goodness. Oh, this just sums Aberdeen up there. They've taken a throw-in, and Mackenzie's actually, when you see this, Mackenzie's seen the other ball come the pitch, so the ball that was thrown at him, he's kicked out the park, expecting to get another throw to be taken, and the referee's giving the throw-in the other way for him kicking out the park.
Just to show how dramatic the turnaround in form is, 5:30 start at Dens Park, the Dundee derby. If things stand the way they are at Pittodrie, if Dundee United win that game, they go third.
They go third
in the table.
And
incredible.
I can't believe I'm going to say this, but you have to worry if Aberdeen keep going the way they are, that they'll fall out of the top 6.
That would
Full
be...
time at McDermott Park. St Johnstone 1, Hibs 1.
Thanks to Stephen McGinn there, one apiece there.
It's not an outlandish thought. The form that they're on, they're heading out of the top 6.
Because, John, you'll have seen this, John, when a side, as you've been seeing, is drained of confidence. It must be so difficult to turn that around.
It is. Listen, you've seen it with other teams this season so far. You saw it initially with Hibs, were struggling, losing a lot of late goals. They've turned it around brilliantly. They've got a new system. They've worked really hard. It's working for them. And you can see the confidence coming back into the Hibs players' minds. And that'll be a disappointing result for them today. Hearts have flattered to deceive. They've had some good performances, or excellent today, but things. But again, you saw Ross County, 97 minutes, complete control, lost a goal, got nervous because of their confidence. Today, Aberdeen, they just look drained. The confidence, they're still getting the ball 18-18, they're getting it forward, but they're not creating anything clear cut like they were early on. Their substitutes, who were fantastic for them in the first 10, 12, 15 games of the season, aren't making any impact here at all. They're not showing anything here. You're getting flashes from Keskinen, you're getting flashes from Duke, you're getting flashes from Nisbet, but they're not really opening County up here. They've thrown bodies forward here for this corner. Again, the big County defenders are heading away, but you can sense now that the fans are starting to turn. There's no doubt the Aberdeen fans are starting to get upset, and they realise that their team's not playing well. And it's a chance. Oh, great ball across the goal, and they can't get on the end of it. But you can sense Aberdeen fans are, from what they had at the start, and listen, we all loved it. Aberdeen up there, the first 15 games or so, title challenge, we were all talking about it. It was great, it was refreshing to see, but they don't look anything like that team now. They just look a complete shadow of themselves. Nicky Devlin, we talked about at the start of the season, up and down the park, crossing balls, getting the box. He's literally never been in an attacking position the whole game today.
Yeah, just seeing some final substitutions being made by Philippe Clement at Ibrox, Stephen.
Yeah, just token gesture ones coming on for their appearance, money in their win bonus, I'd imagine. It's going to be Connor Barron, Cortez and Dessers to come on and replace Igaman, who I have to say was very good up front as well. But listen, there hasn't been a failure in the Rangers jersey this afternoon. They've raised the bar. The challenge for this team and these set of players is to try and maintain it week after week and churn out results and be as inventive and creative and as energetic as what has it been today.
Well, that's the difficulty, Craigs, isn't it? Because they travel Easter Road on the 5th of January and he's only making a triple substitution at, 94 minutes?
Yeah.
And we've had one substitution prior to that. So, I mean, it would be difficult to look at the performance levels just now. Would you really want to change your squad come the 5th of January? Probably not, based on what you've seen. The reality is that if there's consistency levels from what we've heard in the sports science and the lack of availability from players, then Rangers might need to make 6 or 7 changes come the 5th of January.
That's a huge risk, Leanne. If you come and win in a game like this and team performing, it's hard to then
don't change the team.
It's hard to say to a player, listen, you're not playing because I'm going to arrest you. You're thinking, no, I want to play in the team. So that's the problems he has to face. However, he's shown that when he picks his best team are available, they've shown what they can deliver.
Yeah, just playing out towards full time at Ibrox and at Pittodrie. It's been a convincing victory for Rangers this afternoon, no doubt at all about that. Just a few seconds to go there. They have thoroughly deserved it. Celtic have been brilliant all season, but today just not at it at all.
Clement needs to get all his best players into some kind of cryotherapy chamber. keep them fresh.
Lock them in that.
Lock them in there for
January.
Yeah. It's.
I mean, there's Czerny there. Still running. Charging forward down the right hand side.
And he had a 45-minute rest. That's all he's had.
That's the difference.
But because he didn't play in the first half against Motherwell, and he played 11 minutes at a time. So he actually played 56 minutes.
But listen, some of this goes back to the hunger of players and the professionalism of players. Here they've all turned up today.
Yeah.
Big game, massive pressure on them. Home crowd.
It's easy, isn't it? It's an old firm game. It's easy to turn up for that.
It's the bread and butter fixtures where this team, all of these players, have let this club down across a lot of games against teams that they should be putting away.
Yeah.
Still playing at Pittodrie, Robbo, Aberdeen pressing for that equaliser.
Not really, they're just lumping balls at the box. Here's a scramble, a chance! Oh, it falls to Ambrose and he smashes it over the bar, and the fourth official has put up 5 minutes of extra time, so we will be going for an extra 5 minutes.
Full time at Ibrox, Rangers 3, Celtic 0.
Yeah, a warm embrace there between the two managers at Ibrox. Philippe Cologne is coming on to the par. What a torrid time he has had. It's felt like every single week there's been talk around his future. We spoke about it before this game. I don't think anyone could see a Rangers victory, certainly not the manner of the victory this afternoon. Robin Proper there, he is just congratulating his teammates. What a game he had today. Dujon Sterling also. Danilo, he came on as a substitute, a very cool finish there. And Ridvan Yilmaz, he played it right back today and played very well.
As Stephen has been saying all afternoon, he was excellent. He was very tidy. He was threatening going forward as well. So he did it defensively and offensively. He was excellent. Same with Yefty. Same with all of them. Czerny was a revelation. Hadji was outstanding. Absolutely full of running. Massive amounts of energy.
Stephen made a good point about Liam Kelly thrown in there today, and he did have some difficult times at Motherwell last season, I think it's fair to say. Apart from that save right in the stroke of half-time from Hatate, he really wasn't tested, was he?
No, I don't remember him, unless Craigs has got any other updates, certainly in his summary, but for me, it was just that one save. A really quiet afternoon, but I think what Craigs' kind of message and updates throughout the afternoon were very consistent with the two full-back performances from Rangers. I think Ridvan Yilmaz and Jefty certainly at left back. When you look at Celtic's key players, Maida, normally one of them, and Nicholas Kuhn, who's been probably their top performer.
Oh, what a miss! Aberdeen there, brilliant play from Shayden Morris. He's gone down the right. He's just lifted it into the middle of the 6 yard like Kevin Nisbet headers it past the post. What a miss!
He's got to at least get that on target, Robbo.
Got to score. I don't think he's even
thinking about it too much. He's trying to overemphasise getting it into the corner and power on it. Just redirect it.
That's it. I mean, it's a perfect cross. It's taken out the defenders. The goalkeeper can't come. All he has to do is guide that into the corner, and it's all over. But
how long to go there, Robbo?
Still 3.5 minutes to go here.
Right. Okay. So Rob will keep us fully updated on that one. All the reaction to come from around the grounds. We'll hear from both managers at Ibrox. What a win for Rangers today. A reminder, 5:30 start, Dens Park, the Dundee derby. Full commentary to come on BBC Radio Scotland. Time now to say goodbye to our BBC Radio 5 live listeners who've been with us for our Old Firm coverage this afternoon. Thanks for joining us. They are now joining Drive. And on BBC Radio Scotland, all the reaction to come on Sports Sound in a few minutes' time. We'll still get the game playing at Pittodrie, Aberdeen struggling against Ross County there. So what we'll do, we'll come back to that in just a minute, and we'll take the BBC Radio Scotland news.
Across Scotland.